are recording now.
Sick.
Yo, so like I was saying, I've always been kind of involved, but never really dipped my toes in fully until I actually started working in this because
Oh, you're talking about the
blue collar,
Oh,
like
the
a
blue
tie, like the
collar.
swag.
okay.
So for
Yeah.
example, like working with like the linemen and stuff, like the linemen have like a certain swag, dude. Long beards, tatted to the gills. fucking-
501s.
Yeah, no, dude. It's the Carhartt.
Oh, they got the Carhartt, like, heavy
dude,
duty.
Carhartt runs hard, bro.
Like canvas.
Yeah.
Okay, when did
dude.
Carhartt take over? Because I feel like it was Dickies first for a while.
It
Yeah,
was. But Carhartt just like as of right now, because especially Carhartt has like a contemporary line as well. Carhartt Whip, work in progress, and it's like they do collabs with like Supreme and Bait and Ape and all that, like that
nice
hype
cut.
stuff.
It's not all boxy. It's like
It is still. It's still
Oh, yeah?
because that's what's in right now, like that
Oh,
Billie
yeah,
Eilish
yeah.
look. You know what I'm into? The you don't show the figure of the girl, you just see
Yeah.
the gear.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So working with linemen's, let me tell you a little story about and a little. So I have an ex-employee who's no longer with us, and because the linemen's have such a typical style that like you can identify them. It's like, okay, that's clearly a lineman.
Yeah.
He's the one in charge right now. He's at a job site like down the street, like on Adams, and he's at the manhole. They open it up and they're pumping. They're seeing what kind of chemicals are in there, and this big burly, like white guy, again, like I said, tatted up to the gills,
Right.
like hands in his like zip up Carhartt hoodie, just all stocky, and his beard's hanging, and it's all knotted, and he's just standing there
So like that.
like that, yeah.
Just not knotted.
And he's wearing those sunglasses that you usually see like baseball players wear. Like those like fishing ones. Yeah.
Wrap
like-
around.
Yes.
The Oakleys.
Yes.
Those are nice. Those are very nice.
And so my old employee is like, he's pumping, he's looking over, and he wants to make a good impression. He's like, and he's calling him like, hey, so how's it look, boss? Like, we doing a good job? Like, and he's like, yeah, it looks pretty good. And he's like, all right, yeah, you let me know when to pull out and we can get this ball rolling. And he goes, yeah, you know what? Yeah, it looks pretty good. Let me go get my paddle. He was one of the traffic control guys, dude.
So stupid.
And everybody thought he was the boss.
Yeah, because he had like that
The
swag.
swag, yeah.
He had every little,
Wow.
the outfit complete, the beard, everything, dude. Even like
You can't be a poser, dude. You can't wear
even the rubber rings that
Oh, the
blue collar
yeah,
people
yeah,
wear
yeah.
now.
A lot of guys that I train with wear those as well.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. At the judo school,
Yeah.
it's either black or wood.
Yeah, I guess like the
wood ones are nice. by
if
the
you
way.
kind of care about your appearance at work, you kind of look good, show up, work good kind of thing. Some cats. I know that when I started working at this kind of body shop, paint shop that I work at, I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm just gonna get like some painter's clothes, and I was like, well, like I'm not painting houses, so I'm not gonna wear like white. Show up. Everybody else is wearing like T-shirts with Dickies and like some guys aren't even wearing steel toe boots. They're just wearing like trainers or something. I'm all, that's kind of weird. Like, I'm used to seeing blue collar in the Imperial Valley with people wearing like a Dickies flannel with 501 jeans and Red Wings. Like,
Oh, that's true. The Red Wings are a big one.
Dude, there's a Red Wing shop near my office where the Best Buy is.
and hipsters are wearing Red Wings.
Yeah,
nowadays.
I was literally about to bring that up because when I went there, because I give once my employees.
So I just bought a pair, actually.
Every year, I give my employees free boots, like new boots.
Yeah.
And usually they want Red Wings because it's the closest one.
Ron, what time of the year you do that?
No. When they last completed a year.
Okay, so based on their employment.
Yeah,
Okay.
their employment anniversary, I give them new boots. And
Damn.
yeah, so we go to Red Wing because it's closer. They don't want to go to Boot Barn because it's too far. But even though Boot Barn has the best,
Better selection,
fucking boots, yeah. And I went in there, and I only saw hipsters, dude, like kids that.
You know why? Because of
kids.
this. Because these guys.
Mm-hmm.
See that? These guys. These are guys that have never done a lick of work in their life.
Mm-hmm.
Check this out. That's influencing.
Uh-huh.
Excuse me.
As you eat.
That's influencing the blue collar workers now because You see those guys out in the field.
Oh, now they're styling.
with skinny
Skinny
jeans.
jeans.
Yes.
And they're
Dude.
cracking on. They're like, "What's up with those jeans, bro? You going to a nightclub or what?" They're just like, "Well, they're just jeans." They're like,
So-
So there's this like little feedback loop.
So that
now.
employee I was telling you guys before we started recording, the one.
By the way, we started recording. We didn't even discuss. This is the Morning Drinkers podcast.
Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen,
This is the Morning Drinkers podcast featuring Omar today because
Salud.
Diego can't make it. Omar and I are actually sober this month, so
I'm drinking for them.
it's really it's the Oliver drinking
Yeah.
podcast. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, so he like I said, he's got that swag. He fucking wears the beanie to the side, you know, like has like that tough mug, you know. But he wears skinny jeans, or they're like cuffed at the ankle, like tapered at the ankle, and
Bro.
a little wider around the waist, so like he can still kind of sag them a bit.
"Yeah,
Look at this, the cuffed look.
That's
That's exactly what. That's your look, by the way.
I like that though,
That
because
is your
I wear weird socks, and I usually do it to show off the socks.
Okay,
right."
so you cuff high.
Mm-hmm.
You cuff high. I'm not gonna lie. These are nice looking boots. These are good looking boots. I'm not gonna rock these.
Go to the Carhartt website.
I'm a little disturbed by the boots that have like that booty shape in the back. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like when
Oh,
they
right
hug-
here, right here.
when they hug the ankle so much.
Oh, okay.
I
It's
like
like-
those that don't have a heel.
Yeah, I like first of all zero drop, flat.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the way to go.
Although I do have a heel on my Clarks.
If there was, see, I own like so many Clark. You do too.
Yeah.
But I
So
got
check this
away
out.
from it, dude.
Carhartt Whip did a collab with Clark's. Look that up. Pull that up, Brian.
Okay.
Brian Repec, you are going to love these because they have the
Carhartt is 2 R's.
it's two
Carhartt
T's.
Carhartt boots.
Clark's.
Is this it?
Look at those.
Which ones?
The Wallabies.
Yes,
Wallabies?
Yes.
Oh.
See, now those are cherry.
But see, I'm not into this color. That's
Well, they have different colors.
Okay.
I like the olive ones, to be honest, because you know me.
okay.
Those are slick though.
Yes, they're clean paper.
Definitely can't use those to work in. Though.
No,
no,
that's
but that's clearly style. That's swag.
yeah, 100%.
That's Jamaica right there. That's Jamaican swag.
Hey,
Really?
but then again, like remember in the '90s, Nas used to always like
Right,
whack,
but
like,
see, York's a boot.
Wallabies,
that's
dude.
that's a
Guess
boot
jeans
city.
and Wallabies.
Jamaica
Jamaican-
Queens,
yeah,
man.
Jamaican Queens
yeah.
right
You
there.
know.
That's boot city right there.
Yeah, Carhartts are nice. You know, I've been looking at the
But it's all brand because the material ain't that great.
right. Well, the new Clarks are made here, right? They're not.
If
Or
you
they're
want-
they're actually
No,
manufactured.
I thought they were British.
If you
I
want
thought
one of the
they're
good
'Cause
labor
the OGs
brands,
are
hey,
British.
Yeah.
but
Area,
now they have.
Area. That's a good fucking
never-
blue collar brand. Look that up, Brian.
On area like
Area,
area?
ARIAT.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know that brand. I know
Yasser
the logo.
area.
Mm.
Dude, these are Clint Eastwoods, bro. These are the Clint Eastwoods right here.
If you have those like slip-on boots with the square toe on them,
Yeah.
Dude, Adrian's got those
that's
steel
the real
toed.
deal.
Dude, these are
Whole nother level, man.
Dude, look at this one.
That's a real man's boot. So check this out, man. I have one employee who like lives out in Campo.
Wait, hold on. Go down on the left, right there, with the digital camo and the flag.
No,
Wait,
that's
wait.
Diego's. That's Diego
This
right
one's-
there, dude.
That's called the Sport Patriot.
That's the one that stormed the Capitol, dude.
Hell yeah.
Only that one.
Dude,
gets it.
okay. So
Let's get to the Capitol real quick. Let's touch that.
I want to talk about that. I really want to talk about that. How do you feel? What do you think? Anything changes from that? Like, do you think there's going to be any new laws implemented regarding that? Obviously, Trump was banned from all social media
Yeah,
platforms.
he's back on though.
What do you mean he's back on?
He tweeted the next day. It was
No,
only 12 hours.
No.
no.
Now
No, he's permanently banned.
Indefinite.
Like it said, permanently banned.
Look up the latest tweet.
Bro, I will look it up right now.
Look up Brian Repec. You will not believe that this latest tweet.
I like how you're using first and
that
last
same
name.
that same day, they went.
I like that on your feed, by the way.
I'm into that too.
Wow,
Donald Trump.
You know what is weird? Oh wait,
Can't find it.
done, son.
He's done. 100%.
Done.
Wow.
100%.
You know what?
Trump's
I take it back. I could have sworn that he
No,
tweeted
I saw it was
because
indefinite.
there was a tweet as a
They
response
censored
of
the
Capitol.
president of the United
so
States.
that's what I want to
the
get into.
leader of the free world is
Got
censored.
censored. So that brings forth an
Free world.
The debate was foreshadowing that how they had to mute his mic.
Well, they wanted to mute his mic, and then I think they did in the
second
in
one.
the second debate. Yeah. So so there's two sides of this. Some people are like, oh, that's direct censorship. You can't do that. That violates the First Amendment. Blah blah blah. However, it is a privately owned company. And they can't. He's technically not censored. They're just saying like, "Hey, we don't want anything to do with it."
Exactly.
So
And just happens that all these social media companies, the collective, are doing the same thing.
they're doing the same thing because they are definitely more left leaning for sure.
Yeah,
But there could be some big tech
like,
right wing company
yeah,
that
like-
could fucking start their own.
like
shit
I
if they
love
want.
that Tim Pool podcast on JRE when they had the Twitter execs on there and
Yeah.
he was like combating them. Like,
Right.
It's clearly like left leaning. Like,
Yeah.
say what you want.
Which
it's
100%
clearly,
it is
Yeah,
left
it is.
leaning.
And it kind of sucks that we have to cater to everyone because at the end of the day we are as fast as our slowest person as a
Right.
nation. But goddamn,
And
dude,
these
like, can
people
everyone
are
just
these people are very very slow.
Yo, that's the video when they
They're
pulled
wearing
down
that
the cop
sport-
and killed him. That's when they stomped him out.
They stomped
Yeah.
someone right here.
That's the cop that
That's
died.
a cop, dude.
That's
I
the-
don't see a cop.
They bashed his head with the fire extinguisher or
and they
something,
just
right?
kept going at him,
Oh.
dude. They just saw red.
Look at it. Camp Auschwitz. There was a Confederate flag. So I was having a conversation with a friend, and she messaged
Oh,
me.
there's a beautiful meme about this, that picture, and it's Dennis Reynolds saying, like, I need zip ties,
Oh
duct
my
tape,
God,
I need
so
my
funny.
tools.
Oh no.
So yeah, this one my friend she messaged me, kind of like discussing this a little bit briefly, and I actually was saying, I don't want this to be just overly about like a racist narrative, just because I feel like that infiltrates every media outlet all the time.
That's what sells.
That's what sells. But what I was saying was that honestly, anyone that's in the Capitol building with a fucking Confederate flag should be shot dead anyway.
Yeah, not American, man.
That's a traitor.
Can we
that's
talk-
a traitor. Like that.
Can we talk
That's a
about
traitor.
how they found bombs and they're not even blowing it up as much as I expected them to?
Well, like I said, how do we know though?
There was IEDs. They even showed pictures
Yeah,
of
they
them
showed some
motherfuckers,
pipe
dude.
bombs and
They
shit.
even said that they had to, make it explode contained.
Sick.
I love when they do that. They put they bring like the caterpillar over and they put the shield on it, the shovel on it, and just
Yeah.
load
That's
into the
dope.
shovel.
That's
So
dope.
sick.
I didn't see those videos.
There is a Instagram page that I think you would really enjoy, and it's called OSHA Is This Okay?
Oh my god, I've seen
OSHA?
it. I've seen it. Like,
OSHA
like
is
Cal
like
OSHA, like safety.
the safety guideline for
Okay, yeah.
all like laborers, like heavy machinery and all
OSHA
that.
like that?
Oh.
Oh yeah.
No, with an S. OSHA.
Are you
Is
are you
this safe?
are
Yeah.
you marrying this like the whole time? Because
Yeah.
Bro,
Well, the thing is,
honestly, this is the type of shit Tom Segura would love, dude.
Yeah, well-
if he
Oh, dude,
loves
it's
that
so
video of that
bad.
guy getting crushed by the car. In
so
the
which one
garage,
am I clicking on here?
Click any of them. They're all great.
they're
Well, of course I'm clicking
Obviously,
this one.
go for that
I'm
one
clicking
first.
this one because I just want to see this graphic content here.
It's clearly Russian.
oh
perfect.
man.
Oh no. All right, so what we're
Oh,
saying,
look
this
how scared he
this
is.
guy lit a fucking fire in the elevator.
And he's in the elevator
He's burning
on fire.
himself. up.
He's fucked.
Oh my god.
See,
What is he doing?
we laugh at this, right?
Well, I laugh at stupidity almost
Because you can't
anytime.
fix stupid.
I mean, you could try to educate it, but that's just a decision.
con-
And I'm
Comments.
taking that from Ron White. I'm gonna give him credit because
This guy's taking off that jacket. Yep.
yeah,
Oh,
he's
take him off.
he
Stomp
stopped,
that
drop,
shit.
and roll.
Stomp
He's
that
trying to
shit.
stomp it out. Yeah.
What's on his head?
I don't know. Wow.
Click another one.
Yeah.
that one's more
That wasn't-
stupidity.
that wasn't too
that,
graphic.
that one looks like it's more work based.
Yeah.
Oh
in the
my
under the
lord.
car. Here, don't worry about it. I'll get it.
No.
Oh,
dude.
that's when the
that's
fucking-
fucked.
He was trying to dig that thing
That's
out.
no. It's when the fucking you didn't put the fucking jack underneath the sturdiest place of the vehicle. They probably put it on like the fender,
Mm-hmm.
and it just fell on him like a fucking Mama Luke.
Dude, this poor guy. I mean, it's
Obviously-
also mud. It could be.
Yeah, and
it
it's-
could just be that.
Probably some cheap little jack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On some.
He's
Probably
got he's
put,
got
like,
$100
soda bottle, under
$100
it or something.
$100 DeWalt
Yeah.
impact drill.
Okay,
Like,
now that
not
you're
a-
into this, you looking into power tools and everything. What brand are you gravitating to?
I'm doing DeWalt, dude. I like DeWalt.
No, fuck that, dude.
I'm
You
not- listen,
Start
listen.
with
Hold
Ryobi,
on,
and then
hold
you
on.
graduate to Milwaukee's.
Bro,
Oh,
what,
no, no,
bro,
no, yeah,
what
yeah,
are
yeah.
tools?
So check it out. Yeah, I did the Ryobi. I did all the the Husky. I went through all of them.
Milwaukee's, bro.
Milwaukee is great, but it's just too expensive for my blood. So DeWalt is where I'm at right now.
Just for
And
the home repair, it's too much.
yeah, for
Like,
home
you're
repairs.
flossing if you're
and
buying Milwaukee's.
if I'm buying Milwaukee's, then I better be out on the field every day with a toolbox
holster,
and
dude.
toolbox on my truck and all that.
They sell tactical vests
Of course they do.
that are for day labor, or not day labor, for blue collar folks. So it's instead of like a gun, it's for
The drill or
for the
something.
drill,
Oh my
dude.
god, dude, that's ridiculous.
Because they want to look like operators, like
So
when they go into work. and they-
Everybody just wants to look cool.
before we tangent it off,
We've already gone through so many tangents.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
we
was-
literally barely touched on the Capitol thing. I
Yeah.
said one thing and then
no,
and we were supposed to talk about Coors Banquet.
Coors Banquet. Yes. So
we'll bring it back. We'll bring it back.
I have an employee who's a straight
Trust
up,
me, those guys that rated it, they're drinking Coors
Oh,
Banquet
yeah.
too.
I have an employee who's a straight up cowboy, lives in Campbell. Like when he says like, "Hey, I'm busy this weekend because I'm gonna be like shaving sheep," like that's what he does. Like he's a fucking cowboy. Only wears like a 10 fucking gallon hat.
That's a big hat.
Yeah, and he got a gift from his dad, or I don't know. It turns out he just shows up with a cowboy hat, hard hat.
Oh yeah, I've seen him.
I thought it was a joke, but
That's a legit
I
thing.
googled it
I'm
and they
Googling
mass
that right now.
produce them, dude.
Cowboy hard hat?
Yeah,
Cowboy.
And can we ask Cal OSHA if that is
and it's OSHA approved.
OSHA?
It's
approved?
OSHA approved, dude.
That is so great.
God damn! Look at that
Look at
shit.
these.
Dude, the orange one.
No, look at the fire.
No.
Well, that's kind of how they look.
Yeah,
anyway.
that's already no. But look at the orange.
Look at the guy down on the bottom. Look at him.
This
Click on
guy's
that picture.
My favorite.
Yeah, that
This
guy's a
guy-
contractor. Look at him.
That
He's
guy-
actually the foreman. He's a general foreman.
Dude, he is the foreman for
I've
sure.
been doing this job for about 35 years.
Look at this guy though. Oh, what happened? What happened? This guy's like going on safari. Ah, there it is.
Oh god,
I don't know if that one's OSHA approved.
I like those hats. Those are pretty
He's
cool.
killing it though. Khaki pith hat. With the pith hat.
What's wrong with him though?
Oh, he's for sure
son.
molesting children
Whoa.
on that safari. This guy's
So-
molesting
Molesting
children.
animals.
When it comes to hats, and you two are definitely hat folk.
Yeah, you are too. Stop saying
I'm
that.
getting there. I'm getting.
You-
I was
you're a hat guy.
I was a hat guy, like baseball caps. That's different.
I was baseball cap too.
I don't know if you were up to my level though. I have like special duffel bags and shit.
Yeah, I didn't care that much about
Okay.
them, but yeah.
Point is, but like fedoras and shit.
Yeah.
The mushroom guy that was on JRE has a mushroom hat.
Yeah, I want that.
Yeah.
Armado hats, I think they're called.
Sure.
Paul Stamlets.
Paul Stamets
Yes.
is shit.
I want to know how that feels.
I'm sure it's kind of like a leathery.
hand.
What?
Bring your hand over here.
What?
I'll show you what that hat.
No.
Ew, you gross.
Off camera. Off camera. Which it's I'm assuming foreskinish if that's what you're
Well, that was that was the joke he was implying. But I'm thinking.
I could just pet your dog instead.
You could. You
yeah,
could.
yeah.
For the people that don't know, Omar has two dogs that resemble foreskin.
Yeah.
Two
feel-
walking nut sacks,
Naked
on
little
4 legs.
motherfuckers.
Well, I'm gonna have to take your word for it because as a circumcised individual, I've never felt an actual
yeah.
foreskin.
Same same.
Yeah. So whip it out. Let's see what you're wearing.
Yeah. So what is it? Is it rocket versus torpedo? Is that what it's called?
I have no idea. But
Which one's a rocket? Which one's a torpedo?
I'm assuming the rocket's circumcised.
oh, because the red rocket's already showing.
Yeah, I don't know. Torpedo just.
I just feel like
seems like
it just feels like it's unsheathed. Like that's what it feels like.
when I think rocket. I
yeah,
think
like I
something-
feel like I have what you have, but then I also have a sheath,
He has a
for,
sheath
it.
for it.
And you guys just walk around with the blade with
Yeah.
no sheath.
What?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Wait, what does Bert Kreischer say about the shotgun?
What is
He was like, I wanted the uncircumcised one, the one I could pump.
He fucking would. He fucking would. that
Oh
guy.
my god.
He's crazy.
See, now that is a comedian that I'm more fond of podcast wise, but stand-up special, like there's only certain jokes, not the entire one kills for me.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna talk about my experience
Oh, yeah,
today
let's
with
get-
Uber Eats, bro.
Oh yeah, I saw your story.
Let me tell you
I haven't
something.
seen yours. Oh, I think.
All right. I've
I
had
was
Uber
about to
Eats
shower.
for years since it came out.
Yeah.
within the last year, I've probably ordered from them like 7 times.
So you're like a platinum member?
I should be. I was actually like paying the subscription for it and all that.
There's a
To,
subscription.
For the
like
free
to
deliveries?
get like free deliveries and stuff like
My
that.
girl
What
does
is
that.
what is?
It's like a rewards program.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
like it's like what, like 5
After
deliveries and you get a
every-
free
yeah,
one or
pretty
something?
much, like a stamp card kind of a deal.
I've
So-
never used Uber Eats.
So 5 times. Don't ever use it.
Yeah, well, based on
Don't
your
ever use it.
story, yeah,
5 times
never used it.
in the last year, out of like 7 times, they've blown it completely. Like, item arrives damaged or missing items. But what happened was the first time I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to report it, whatever.
Right.
Didn't come with a soda or something. I don't know. And then the second time, this lady came and I was like, hey, did you get the iced tea with it? And she's like, oh, you know what? No. But when you go on there, say that your whole order was messed up and they'll refund you for the whole thing. So I was like, So I did it, got a refund, free meal. Bam, bitch. And I was just basically doing the same pizza joint every time.
Yeah, that's when you got an extra pizza, remember?
And one time, called it in. They sent me 2. Charged me for 2. Refunded me. I got 2 pizzas. I gave one of them away.
Yeah.
Well, then, so I've had a few of these
These
issues.
don't sound that bad.
No,
It
but-
sounds like you're getting
where,
free
where's
food.
the complaint?
Hold
Where's
on,
the
like,
complaint?
okay, well, I'm giving you
You're,
the
you're
best
building
ones.
it up.
Okay.
You're building
Yeah,
it up.
okay.
Build it
A
up.
few times it's like wrong order shows up, or order takes an hour and a half, and I'm calling because they give you a phone number to call, and I'm calling and the driver's not answering, and I see on the GPS that the driver's in National City,
Yeah.
sitting in a parking lot, and I go, what the, So then I'm calling. Finally, I get a call back from the lady, and she's like, "Oh, I'm outside." I'm like, "No, you're not. I'm looking at the GPS." She's like, "No, I'm outside." And I look, they're across the street. They're not in the car they're supposed to be in. Like, there's some weird shit going on. Well,
There's just no regulation for that, I bet. That's
And-
what's happening.
and what happened after like the 4th complaint and like full refund,
Yeah.
that whole issue happened, and I reached out and I did the whole process again, and they sent me a message back that said, "Oh, you've reached your limit of complaints.
What?
We can't refund you."
Mm.
And my food wasn't coming,
Yeah.
like, and I was all
Well, maybe they took it as like a boy cried wolf
right.
situation.
And so they were kind of, they did that to me. So I was like, you know what? Fuck this Uber
Right.
Eats shit, and then I'm not using it anymore.
Yeah.
And then, a couple months go by, and then I was like, oh, too lazy to go out. So get some Uber Eats. Well, today, before opening the app up, I'm like, which one don't I like? I think it's Uber Eats. All right, whatever.
Oh, so is it only Uber Eats or is it DoorDash?
It's only
Postma-
Uber Eats.
Okay.
Now, I order using Uber Eats because they're the only ones that have this good Mexican restaurant that I go to. And
You
put
want
in
to
my
give it a shout
order,
out?
simple Lomas Cafe, pretty good. Oh, and Chula Vista off a 3rd. But anyways, I order really simple, like no extra appetizers, no drinks, nothing, just 2 entrees. Well, here comes my order. Looks like it's coming early. I'm watching it. I'm working right there in my studio, and then I see the car on the GPS on the street over 1 block from mine, driving up and down, and the minutes are going by. I'm like, maybe she's doing other deliveries.
Does
Maybe
it
she's
charge
lost.
you for the delivery time?
No.
So she's not racking minutes.
No, but
to get.
if she's lost, she's supposed to reach out. Or when she
Okay.
arrives, she's supposed to reach out.
Exactly.
Well, I go outside. She's not coming. I come back inside. I look at my phone, and it says, enjoy.
No.
And I'm all, enjoy what? So I go and I look. She dropped my food off at the wrong spot.
Happens a lot though.
So check it out.
Right, but that's not cool.
It's not. It's not. I'm not.
I
saying
pay
it's-
for
yeah.
delivery to my house.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And so I reach out. I reach out through the app to try and speak to them directly to say, hey, that's the wrong spot. Can you bring it to my house? I'm on this street. Call, goes to her voicemail. Call again, goes to her voicemail. Call again. And I have to call Uber. Uber connects me to the driver. I don't have her phone number.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, just go get your food next
Wait,
time.
hold on.
Like, I'm already like, fuck this.
Yeah, I'm pissed, dude. I'm pissed.
Yeah.
And so call again, clicks on me.
Whoa. So they knew.
Yeah, they
they
fucked you
knew
over, dude.
that-
So then I went.
you got bamboozled.
I filled out the form again. I was like, my order hasn't arrived. It was dropped off at the wrong spot. Blah, blah, blah. Well, Uber Eats just refunds me. And I'm like, I've been sitting around waiting
still
for
hungry.
this food. I'm still hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not paying you to cook the food.
Yeah.
I'm just paying for the food
Do
to
your
get
fucking service.
to my fucking house, and it's expensive.
Yeah, I've heard for
they
like
charge, dude.
They
yeah,
charge
I
you
heard it's a
$4 or $5
and
sometimes.
they don't let you
that's actually not
finish
as
your
much.
transaction without tipping.
Really?
have to
you
tip.
have to tip them.
Now, yeah.
You can't even close
That is
the app.
that is very true. Yeah.
So
yeah.
you still on
Unlike,
top of this
like
wait, wait, wait,
Postmates,
wait, wait,
they
wait.
So
do
you-
tip after it has arrived.
You close the app, and when next time you open the app, it's still asking you how much you want to tip that person.
Right, but
And not saying that you're not the person that doesn't tip.
Wait,
I
wait,
do.
wait.
Yeah, exactly. We know you do.
Wait, hold on. Let me raise my hand here.
Brian, you can go.
So she dropped your food off at another place,
She took a picture
and you
of it
still have
on
to
somebody,
tip her for dropping out for you to go.
Yes.
Hell no.
So hold
She ate
on.
it.
So
She ate
okay, so hold on. So she dropped it off, took a picture of it because that's what they're supposed to do.
right.
Bounces. So I try calling, the calls don't go through. They after like putting in all these complaints, they refund me my money. So I'm like, fuck them. That's not enough, you know.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they do this
You
shit
need
to
a
me
payment
every
now.
fucking time.
Yeah.
And so I get in my truck, haul ass, and I find the house, and there's no food outside.
Oh,
No, so
someone.
they just posed it and took it.
I'm
bro.
like, so it's COVID, and I gotta go knock on somebody's door to ask them for
Yeah.
my food now.
What
Or
if they dropped it off like at a homie's place?
Well,
Like
check
that's their
this out.
friend's spot.
check it out. I go, fuck it. I get out. Yeah. Hey, knocking on the door. Older man comes out and he's like, "Oh, how can I help you?" I was like, "Hey, my food got dropped off here earlier." And he's like, "Oh, okay." It's all in Spanish.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, yeah, here you go." Brings me the food. It's all wrapped up still. They didn't touch it. Nothing.
Okay. Well, nice guy then.
Yeah. So they give it to me. They're like,
Still,
I thought it was funny that the receipt doesn't even have an address on it.
So do you
That's
think
weird
it's
because
so do you
mine
think it's
have, though.
but do you think it's a fuck up on the restaurant then?
It could.
It could be on the restaurant, but it's people.
It's
are,
her fault for not reaching out.
People
still.
are
Yes.
not reaching out to
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
and also they're
Uber not
looking-
doing their
They're
job.
looking at GPS,
Yeah, which still sucks.
and
Yeah.
GPS sucks. And then on top of that, Uber has zero customer service, like personal customer
Right.
service.
Exactly. It's all a chat.
It goes through a chat, whatever. So check it out. I got my money back. I went. I found the food. I brought it back. Then I'm eating my food, and a car pulls up in front of my house. A lady gets out. I have the gate closed, so I'm like, all right. Go open the door. Go out there. I'm like, how can I help you? And she's just all, I'm so sorry. I just saw the messages from Uber. I left it at the wrong spot. The Uber app keeps sending me to wrong places. It's like, no, you don't know how to read directions.
Right.
Like you're on the wrong
If you,
street.
You went off
if
on
you
this
have
person?
the address,
I feel
you know the street.
Look,
right, but
motherfucker.
I wanted
Yeah.
to go off,
I see. I don't see you guys going off,
but I was already
Damn.
eating, and you know, I'm for the people. I'm for the people.
Yes.
Like incompetent as she is, I'm for the people. She's like, I'm gonna bring you something. What do you want? Any restaurant? I'm gonna get you something. I'm gonna bring you. I owe you one. And I go, nah, you don't owe me nothing. Just it's all good. Whatever.
So,
Just give me my money back.
so you still against Uber? Where's the
Hold
story
on.
going?
Hold on. Wait. Let me tell you. After that, Uber sends me a text message. And it says, "Hi, Omar. Thanks for reaching out. Happy to help with this issue. To better assist you, can you please provide some additional information about the difficulty you're facing?"
Nope.
I just wrote this long message,
Nope.
and we look forward to hearing from you. And I put yes. Thanks for reaching out.
It's an
It's
automated.
an automated-
Now it's a
automated
different
chat.
person.
Right.
This is so-and-so from Priority Support Team. We're sorry to hear you did not receive your order. I checked the issue. From our end, I confirm that we've successfully refunded you your entire amount, whatever, blah, blah, blah. $30, bro.
Did you
$30.
Did you ever see
What did
like,
you order?
hey, I have a history with you,
Two
motherfuckers.
entrees
From
En-
from the Mexican-
enchiladas.
Uh-huh.
and huevos rancheros.
Look at these Uber Eats reviews. 1-star rating out of 19,780 reviews.
Check it out.
I
Rest
never
assured-
used it.
I mean, they fucked up my orders a handful of times, but
Rest assured that this should reflect in your account within 3 to 5 business days. So I paid you today, and you can't give me my money back
Jesus Christ.
for another 3 to 5. I don't care. It's just
Right.
I feel like I have to get personal with these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Because they're fucking with my life.
yo,
So,
Hungry.
but see, here's the thing. I know you're saying you're for the people. Do you think some of these people, though, are also just people that would suck at any job anyway?
like incompetent in general.
They're just, yeah, these are the people that are like,
the useless.
they're very lazy. And on top of that, they're all, this is an easy job. I can get
The
away with some
entitled.
shit. Yeah.
the entitled.
Sure, entitled, whatever. And so she's like, I could do this job, and she still can't do this job.
I'll tell you what, that might be it. But I think that these people are working their ass off, and they have Uber open, they got Lyft open, they
Yeah.
got Postmates.
It could be
got,
that.
That is
There could
true
be the
because a lot of them
distractions.
are running different apps.
They're
trying
running
to
all
hustle.
those apps. They have like 2 phones,
Sorry.
and they're fucking up left and right.
Can I?
And at the end of the fucking year, they're the ones
Lying on
that
the
have
taxes.
some unions going
Yeah.
after our tax money
Yeah.
to give them a fucking raise. Are you kidding me?
This one says
Yo.
delivery driver stole my food.
which is common. It's common. So I didn't want to say. I'm not going to use names, but I have one of my really close homies. His little brother, does Uber Eats and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
He tells me, dude, like
He steals the food.
he's like, if it's something that I've been craving, I'm gonna take a bite. Like,
Dude, I've heard many of those stories.
dude, like,
I've heard many stories like that. That's crazy.
Hey,
What
bag
is-
fries. You
Dude.
get a bag with no fries in the bottom. You're all.
yeah, exactly. No, so another thing that he has mentioned is the fact that because they can use the GPS malfunction, that they will deliver to a wrong address and bamboozle the.
They're probably delivering it to their homies, like I said. In this case, I don't think the old
It
man was a
wasn't,
homie,
yeah.
but
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure they have their ways to do their tricks and schemes, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's happening.
I got to tell you, the lady was like, she was like your big prima, wearing like a gold chain
Yeah.
and like
That has her name on it.
I'm not.
Her
Cortez's.
first name on it.
Cortez's.
Let me tell you something. Let me
And she's
tell you.
like, oh no, let me know. I got you. Whatever you want.
Ponytail. Hair pulled back tight.
So tight, just
See the
mousse
scalp?
with mousse. It's just
Yeah.
It's
moose.
Aquanet.
Moose.
It's Aquanet.
No. Moose. Yo. I wanted to shift the conversation to something a little bit more light, still keeping on the subject. Has any Uber or delivery person
I don't do delivery.
Has any Uber or delivery person ever broken into conversation with you at picking up the food?
totally like
Conversation where you're just like 45-degree angle, like, I'm gonna go, dude. Like,
yeah, like
Aw.
be like, oh
This
man,
is their only human interaction, dude. I'm gonna be an Uber driver, and I'm gonna do this. No, Uber Eats.
look,
do this.
well, you
Look,
live.
Yeah.
I don't mind talking to you, but it's not.
But you're hungry, and,
Yeah.
and it's border hangry.
You're
now.
bringing my food
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I didn't want to go anywhere.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't wanna
never
talk
thought of it
to
like that,
anybody.
but
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think delivery services are great.
I love it. It's
But
just
do
too
your
expensive.
job and get the fuck out of there.
Don't fucking talk.
How far?
As a matter of fact, just get robots to
Don't
do
even
it.
look
Fuck
at
it.
me.
dude, and that's the thing.
Drones
These
dropping.
these people are in a dying business anyway, because eventually it is gonna be drones and all that shit.
Fuck Uber. That's what I have to say.
So I order from this weed delivery guy, and
Does he send you text messages? Like,
yes,
okay, that's different.
Whoa, wait,
Not a
wait.
I
corporation.
got it from Weed Maps.
But it's not a corporation though. It's like
No,
a.
it's like an LLC.
like, okay, I
have an
fucking- Yeah,
LLC.
me too. Like,
It's just me.
but it's not like a big business. It's small.
Yeah, it's small.
Weed business.
Yes.
Speaking of LLC, I need to
And-
go renew that shit.
And it's different. He's got like a fleet of maybe like 4 or 5 drivers. And I usually get the same
fleet.
guy. Yeah.
Fleet. Yeah.
He got some homies that got cars.
It's a fucking armada.
He has
this guy's
5
running.
homies that have cars.
So it's usually the same guy that delivers my weed, but the recently it was a different guy, and that guy just broke into conversation. Like
God
as soon as he was rolling down the
Hate
window to
these
hand it
people.
out, he was already started, dude. And I was just like, am I like gonna be the good guy?
Yeah.
And like listen, like all that like how many like word do you have in you to until you're like
What is he talking
Damn,
about?
that's crazy.
He was telling me about how because he gave me he had like the how like weed comes in like the RX like pharmacy bags.
Yeah.
He had that in a DoorDash bag.
Okay, so that's his other side hustle that he's doing.
No,
No.
he said that he stole that bag.
Oh,
So cops
perfect.
when he delivers in the hood, they see the
Mm.
bag first, and that's
Okay,
was
that's
his,
hood smart. That's pretty
So
intelligent.
when as he
Interesting.
was rolling down the window, he was reaching into his DoorDash bag, and then he was like, "Yeah, I have this because," and that's when I was like, "Oh no, I know where this is going."
Yeah.
He wants to talk.
But see, here's the thing: you're a talker,
I
and
am.
you entertain it.
I didn't.
What did you say?
I was just like, oh, word.
See,
Soon
as you said word, you code talked to him. You got to say it as white as possible. As white as possible.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Okay. Anything, just short, end it there. Okay. Bam.
I love that. Lately, when I don't want to talk or converse, I just,
Let me.
Oh,
okay.
I'm big on the,
Okay, so check
Yep.
this out.
yeah.
I order for different weed delivery services,
You get
Spread the
free
wealth.
promos.
but I always get free shit.
See, it's the promo.
So and
First time.
so like, but
Chinese motherfucker.
No, yeah. But this is the one I order from regularly.
Yeah.
And because I'm a frequent customer, they give me free shit. So and I always thought it's because I'm nice to the drivers.
No,
No, they don't know who you are.
They don't know. Do you know how many deliveries they're doing?
Again, because I usually get the same guy. So
Right.
like it's almost like a first name
Like
basis.
he knows your house.
He knows my house. He
Okay.
knows my gate code by heart.
Yeah.
And again, it's usually him. So we like high five, give money, and then I'll say something like,
See, you're
good luck out there.
See,
you know?
you're a talker.
How's the family?
No, I never say.
Like-
I don't say shit like that.
Yeah.
I'll just say like, hey man, I'll give him a good tip.
Right.
I'll give him a good tip and be like, hey,
Well,
stay safe
well,
out
that's
there.
why. That's also if you're tipping them well. That's also why he's gonna be more inclined to be like, hey, shoot the shit.
He knows. He's
gonna
if
try
you're
to
a
butter you
frequent
up even
client,
more.
he's like, oh, this guy gives good tips.
Yeah.
Hey, where are we going? He looks at the list of the. Oh, I'm doing this one. I got this
Yeah.
one because
Yeah.
he knows you give good tips.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
But
Because
again,
they become like loyal to you. you
yeah,
know?
Right.
So like, I've had the guy be like, hey man, I had a list and I saw yours, so I'm gonna go to yours first. And he'll like give me like a little free thing or something.
Little
He
roll.
gave me the edible
Oh,
that made like Kobe Bryant's helicopter pilot
Oh,
go Mayday.
God,
I saw that on Reddit,
dude.
by the way. I gotta give
That's
credit.
so
Yeah.
I gotta
bad.
give credit to that.
I hate you for that.
That's almost like a year ago now.
Yeah.
I hate you for that, dog.
He's got the
No,
leg.
but hey, Reddit has good jokes, dude.
Reddit's great. I love Reddit.
I still don't know what a Reddit is. I have the app now, but
I'll
only
show
thing
you.
I've ever seen was like the nudies
Yoga
that you
pants.
guys send me.
Oh,
yeah.
that too.
Yeah, Reddit is so old that I feel like they never changed their layout. So it's so weird.
You can actually choose the 90s layout. Yeah, you can actually opt for it.
I'm not gonna do that though. I haven't even logged in. I'm not gonna log in right now
Don't log
because
in.
you don't need
Yeah,
to.
you
You
don't
don't
wanna-
need to see.
Yeah, no,
Look at
first
this
of
guy.
all,
That's wholesome. That's just
Reddit
cute.
is one of those
Puppies-
things that you
puppies
don't
is good.
share your username.
right.
You want to keep it somewhat anonymous.
Right.
So the phrase "storm the Capitol" was used 100,000 times
Leading
online
up to
in
the
a month.
month.
But if you watched Alex Jones at all, it was probably him because he said that shit like every five
Hey,
fucking
I'm not
minutes.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
Alex Jones, like The Simpsons, has predicted a lot of shit.
Dude, he has. So,
Which is scary. It's
okay, well,
fucking
here's the thing.
scary.
Here's the thing. He much
The
like
Simpsons,
much
ladies and
like
gentlemen.
anybody actually, like toss in Nostradamus. Anybody who's predicting shit, they are very inaccurate. You're bound to land on something.
Obvious. It's very vague, general shit.
Right, but the fact that
But it's
he
geared
did,
towards.
the fact that he has landed on some things, done some digging, found the documents to prove it, is very telling. And I'm not a super conspiracy theorist, but
you die, dude.
well, yeah, it's entertaining as fuck.
You two motherfuckers.
Yeah. Well, but going back to when I brought up the whole storming of the Capitol and everything that happened, and it not being a race thing, but also it is obviously, was the fact that they let it happen. And I feel like no one's really addressing.
There are videos of Capitol Police literally opening
Guiding
the
them.
gates and the guy going, "Come on in, guys, let's go for
Dude,
it."
they
Like,
let it happen, and no one's asking why they let it happen.
like the bombs, ladies and gentlemen.
They're
Look at
just
the
saying.
camera for
They're
that.
literally
Look
just
at that
saying.
camera
They're
too.
literally just saying like, "Oh, this is how corrupt it is. Everybody's racist. They're letting these racist people." To me, that's an oversimplification of it. I don't think that's what it is.
I think those cops were overwhelmed. They saw it and they're like, oh, because those guys wake up and they're in DC. There's protests every day. It's like Mexico City.
DC's ghetto as fuck too.
As a person that has worked in a federal building before, there was a lot of times where I said, "This is a federal building. There should be more fucking security here."
Right.
Right.
I feel like people get too comfortable in their setting where they assume that the society around them just
Is-
kind of
is
like civil,
Is civil,
for
yeah.
lack of a better phrase, and just be like they know not to come
There
in
was
here.
grandmas in the lobby.
Yeah, one of them got like her hand held as she was being escorted
You know what I'm saying?
out. Yeah.
I think these
Which
cops.
has gotten mixed reviews, by the way.
Oh, I
yeah,
know.
Yeah, and there is going to be those mixed reviews. I'm not like a sympathist, or a sympathizer.
Like, kick her down
sorry,
the fucking stairs. Yeah.
but
Right.
but here's
Spartan
my
kick
thing.
that bitch.
Here's my thing, bro. If you got 100 cops and there's like 3,000 people out there that are going, the guys in the
Ape
front line
shit.
are going.
AWOL.
They're
Ape
going.
shit.
We're coming in. You're not
Yeah.
gonna fucking do anything
Right.
about it.
They had to shoot someone.
Who
and they
cares
still
if you have a
went.
gun? That shit ain't
Right.
gonna save you.
Yeah.
That's gonna make it worse for you in that situation.
Right.
If you can't de-escalate the situation, which they had, the president gave these guys the order.
He
The
threw
chief.
firewood into the flame, bro.
Dude, he was the chief. He said,
Well, yeah, those were
"Go
his
do this
supporters.
shit."
He was like, "Fucking
Yeah.
do it." And dude,
Those people weren't gonna stop
did
for
you-
no guns, no bullets. They were
Did
gonna
you-
die.
Did you hear about there was this one guy there who was
suicide
literally
by
thinking,
police.
There was one guy there that was thinking like he was gonna find like the pedophile ring, and like he was there for that. He was
Okay.
there for that,
Can
and so
we-
he goes,
I
wait,
wanna-
he storms in and realized like he got in there. He's like, oh, I fucked up. And he's like, I fucked up, my bad, and he left.
Wow.
So-
He thought he was
And they let him go.
yeah, they're like, yeah.
So can we
damn it.
also address the fact that there was a lot of that like a lot of people
QAnon.
went, yes.
Yeah.
Which
It's stupid, but I love that shit.
I was gonna bring that up.
love
dude.
that
As,
shit.
like where does it go from entertaining conspiracy for comedy to like fueling the fire?
Well, it fuels the fire when people take
I
things
feel like
way too
every
serious.
share that even if you do it comically, it still ends up advertising.
So check this out. I followed Donald Trump on Twitter.
Jesus fuck, Brian.
I followed him like probably when he first got elected.
Just to see what he would say.
Yes, he's so fucking entertaining. If you don't take him seriously, he's the best comic the U.S. has to offer. He's fucking ridiculous.
But he's a person that
He's
you kind of
headlining for
have
sure.
to take
Yeah.
seriously.
well, you have to take him seriously because he's in this position of power. But the fact of the matter is that like they don't take you, the people, seriously. We need
Yeah,
to
they
stop.
don't know-
We
they
need, to,
don't know
we need
who
to
I
stop
am.
taking
Yeah.
them so seriously. And the
Yeah.
problem is, you have all these people
not in the system, so-
that took him so seriously, so they invaded the Capitol with no actual plan or agenda. I think they thought if we can do this, then Trump is going to remain president. Like I don't know what their game plan was, and I don't think they did either. I think they thought once they did that, the president will decide and figure things out. But it's like, nah, dude. He has no idea what he's doing.
Okay, can we
Exactly.
He has no
Can we,
idea what he's
wait,
doing.
first of all,
The
can we,
blind leading the blind.
Yeah.
can we shed the light on the fact that I never expected for this to happen in my lifetime? This is shit you read about in history books.
Dude, I watched Idiocracy last night because I saw
What is
it.
that?
What? You never seen Idiocracy?
I don't think I have.
He didn't see your story.
You didn't
where
see my story.
Hey, you like my response?
Yeah.
He posted like the clip of the movie, and he goes,
Name
"Name
that
that movie." And
I
put,
saw it. Obviously, I didn't know what the
I
fuck it
put
was.
MAGA 2020.
Yeah, MAGA 2020. I was like,
So-
that's pretty close. Yeah.
So break it down for me.
That's homework for you. You
That
gotta
is,
watch
yeah,
it.
that's just homework. You just gotta watch it.
You know how many movies this motherfucker tells me I need to watch?
This one.
I can't
you're
watch
gonna
them all,
love.
dude.
This one was made by the creators of Beavis and Butthead.
You're gonna love it.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
Mike
great.
Judge. He did
King
it.
of the Hill.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's
God
great.
Damn it, Bobby.
It's great. It's not
Propane.
like a hardcore knee slapper funny, but when you're watching
Is it dry humor?
If you are stoned, you're gonna love.
yeah,
this
you're gonna
flick.
love it. When you watch it, like this movie came out like 12 years ago, maybe longer now. When you watch it, you're like, holy shit, they saw this coming down the pipe.
Kind of like that fucking
Bro, Terry Crews is president.
pandemic
Terry
movie.
Crews is president.
Terry Crews is president.
And
Oh,
Yes.
oh,
He has
yeah.
flat. He
Okay.
has flat ironed hair.
Blonde.
No.
Like light brown.
Light
Yeah,
brown,
yeah. I remember because they used to show it on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I remember clips of it.
Yeah.
Like they were addicted to like a soda or something.
Yeah, Brondo.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
called
mentioned that
Brondo.
when I even like referenced that when I
Okay.
put
This
it on
guy
my
drinks
story.
Brondo.
This guy feeds his plants Brondo.
All you had to
That's-
say was Terry Crews, but
Watch it.
I have to rewatch it. Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. But anyway, this like you said, blind leading the blind, dude. These people have no idea what the fuck they're doing. People are bored as well.
People have a lot of time on their hands. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Look at what we're doing. we have,
True.
we have a lot of
Well,
time on our hands right now.
yeah.
you know. But the thing is, this dude tried to organize a coup, and what was his game plan? Like he doesn't have. It's for sure he was trying to do that.
Yeah.
It's
Sparkling white insurrection.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I
That's what he tried to do.
literally went to Merriam-Webster's dictionary to check the term coup. to see if it really does qualify, and it kind of checks all the.
It checks all the boxes.
Yeah.
It was just the worst coup ever attempted.
Worst attempt.
The weakest.
Well, I think
weakest.
they accidentally, started or how would I say that?
I think
It
they
accidentally
initiated a
became a
coup
coup.
without knowing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, these people, like I said, these people they had no idea. They literally romanticized the fact that
It's like
it's a
when
revolution.
it's like when they say the word and they don't know what it means.
right,
You know what I mean?
like
It's
people with clout.
like revolution.
Everybody's dropping clout, and I hate it. But go on, yeah. But
like a
revolution.
Yeah,
revolution.
use
It's a
that in my
revolution.
latest piece, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, these people, I remember seeing some of the videos. This woman like, it's a revolution where you got it, blah blah blah.
The
It's like,
girl that they with the Animaniacs, she's the one that says
she's
revolution.
it's like, no, it's not though, dude.
By the way,
Because
great video,
yeah,
great on pitch and
Be-
everything.
because the fact of the matter is he has some support from the military, but not all. And if you don't have
Not
the
all.
entire military backing you, because you got to do that shit by force,
But do you realize,
which is what they did.
But do you realize how many patriots live in America?
Yeah, but
I do.
the thing is that's what Alex Jones says. These people are all patriots. It's like, no, those people are all terrorists now.
Well,
If you're like I said,
Well, okay.
if you're walking
With
with
one people-
with
one-
a Confederate
one
flag
side's
and something,
terrorist is
something
another
says-
person's freedom fighter.
right? But like I said,
Camp Auschwitz and
It
Camp
was
Ausch-
fucked up,
dude, like
and the Confederate
the
flag.
Confederate flag, that's not American.
I saw one of my
Yeah, it's
buddies.
fucked up.
One of my buddies is an ex Navy SEAL, and he posted this meme that said, people literally died for that flag to never set foot in the Capitol.
Right.
We have a nation
There's a
because of the
reason.
reason
Yeah.
because of that flag not being there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
So it's frustrating to those who, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, fight for true freedom.
it's not funny anymore.
Yeah.
Check this out.
That's
this
a good
is,
way of putting it.
It's not funny anymore. I still kind of laughed a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Because of the
But
stupidity.
it's becoming
yeah.
a nervous laugh for me, dude.
Yeah.
honestly.
It's not nervous laughter for me. I honestly was
So
watching
when-
this shit
when
on
we were talking
CNN or KTLA, and I honestly couldn't stop smiling.
In Enter the Poontang, we
was
talked.
like, what?
In Enter the Poontang, we talked about the bombs, and you were saying, Diego and I were saying, "Hey, this is kind of scary."
Yeah, I said it wasn't scary.
And you were saying it wasn't.
I said it wasn't scary. Yeah.
Well, you know
It's
what
scary.
we've seen bombings like it.
But
That's
at the
that's
nation's capital, the people's capital.
Here's the thing. What runs this country more than the nation's capital? What does the world revolve around?
money.
What happened on 9/11?
It was the World Trade Center going down.
So it was on Wall Street, bro.
Yeah.
The money capital of the world. That to me was scary. This shit, that ain't scary.
well, it's kind of weird because
Because it happened.
every morning.
This was like an entente.
all right, every morning.
Pipe bombs ain't doing as much damage as a fucking huge airplane,
But the
dude.
fact
Yeah,
that
exactly.
someone tried.
The fact. Okay, listen. The fact that they would do that when their president is in office means that our system is already
They
compromised.
feel backed up.
Although they feel that our system's compromised, that there's like Chinese communist agents working within our system now. You
That-
They're not?
Wait. That very well could be true, but check this out. This is where my inner conspiracy theorist comes into play. Because when that text message, I was going back and forth with my friend, I mentioned 9/11. And documents have come out since where they knew 9/11 was going to happen. They let it happen.
Really?
Yeah. They knew that shit was going to happen.
Is it because it blew up from the bottom and not the top first?
No, I'm not saying that it was a demolition. The fact they knew that there was a plan for these people to
For an
fly
attack.
planes
I think,
for an attack.
I think I
Let me-
read about this because Diego has a Chomsky book. About,
Right. Let me elaborate though. When you're saying the pipe bombs, I was like, maybe they're not real, maybe they are. But once again, they let that shit happen.
Smoke and mirrors.
They're letting that shit happen. Maybe that shit was just completely inside job. They planted that shit. Yeah, like they had to detonate them. Like, okay, whatever, no
Do
big
you
deal.
think it's just to create press?
I think it's to create more. I've said there's something deeper going on. I don't know what it is, but there is something I think deeper going. They're letting a lot of shit happen, dude.
Is it weird that it feels like we're living in V for Vendetta almost?
I mean, it's going that way because it
It's
was
going that way.
Because, but see, now
it's fumbling. It's
that's
tumbling towards
but
that.
see, that's the funny thing because now if you're starting to believe in like, oh, this is a police state, that's what these people storming the Capitol have been bitching about,
Right.
Ooh, fuck.
and that's what's kind of crazy.
Yeah. See, you know,
But that's what the opposite side was saying.
the opposing,
Yeah.
the
Or,
opposing
you know,
faction.
Right.
Yeah, like you got to think liberals are saying this is a police state, blah blah blah, and all of a sudden the fucking conservatives are out there and they're like, this is a police state.
So what
I
it's
think the
turning
very-
into is everyone as a collective is going anti-government.
There's
You know what it is? It's the little corner in your pocket that has all the lint and all the
lint,
shit.
yeah.
That's what these people are. And it's
very good analogy.
It's the fucking lint, dude.
Yeah, it's the
It's
extremes
worthless.
from every
it's
corner.
crap.
However, there is an extreme distrust from both sides in our elected officials.
So is that
and
our
in
common
and in the
ground?
media? Yeah, honestly, and it's funny because we, for some reason, aren't really coming together with that. But there is a huge
We're as divided as ever now.
yeah, and actually that leads me to what I was going to say before we kind of started rambling on. This actually could be the fact that the Civil War never actually ended. And
Elaborate.
dude, we've had the fact that we have Confederate flags legal, technically, you could fly a Confederate flag because we are land of the free. Like, you can do it. Like, that shit.
Yeah, like you think in North Korea, you could fly a South Korean
Yeah.
flag.
Like, that's really weird to me.
Yeah.
The fact that there's so much racial injustice, the laws that were passed up until even now that are, you know, I mean, what was it, the 70s in Baltimore where you actually, like, a black person still couldn't own a house? Like, that shit, yeah, that shit is really, really weird. And so what you have is, like, yeah, it was hot in the 1860s. 1861 and 1865 was
Was that
a
called
hot.
like redlining or something like that? What was that called?
I don't. Yeah. The Baltimore thing you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a hot civil war in 1861 to 65. Then it was like cold civil war, and then you had the civil rights movement in the 60s, like 100 years later. But now it's slowly becoming hot again, and they're making it hot again by everything on the news becoming a whole racial thing. Everything on the news is becoming a racial narrative, and that to me is like, okay, what are they doing here? We are, like, in a sense, in having a civil war, and it's like the Civil War never really ended. It's just been cold for a while.
I mean, if you have just like this weird bipartisan,
Yeah.
government,
And that's
then
what
it is a civil war.
It's exactly what it is.
It's just brother versus brother, like.
It's
Which
sad.
when I was watching freaking
Glory.
Pence, when I was watching Pence and
Omar.
McConnell, and I was watching the House and
Mhm.
the Senate, they're all talking like we're brothers in here. Like
Yeah.
we argue, but we come here to get this sacred job done. Like,
Right.
it's
But they don't get
the
shit. done.
common ground that they all agree on. That's like we have a set of rules that we all follow unanimously.
Right.
Like,
Right. And so when I saw that and the way that they addressed it was like really kind of tugged at my little tiny patriotic strings.
Yeah.
They were like, we're just going through the motions. This is a ceremony that we're doing. I'm all about ceremonial shit and
Oh, yeah.
rituals and
we know.
but like
It's
when they
unfortunate.
said that, I was like, yeah, it's true. Like that's why we still believe in the president, the leader of the free world.
Right.
Because
I
we
don't
are
think we should have a president.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's that argument that can be made. I think it's just
you're
a.
a
It's
communist.
it's just
you're
a
a
nice little
communist.
Don't
figure.
say
fuck.
that, dude. Don't. There's a camera.
You Chinese motherfucker. I
You
said it again.
commie
You
fuck.
Chinese. So check this out.
That's slander to my name.
Check this out.
That's a defamation.
So this has been on my mind. This whole racial thing. How do you feel about the Keon Harold situation? Keon Harold Jr. Because I have some thoughts on it that I feel like would ruffle some feathers.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to look at it from both actually all angles.
Uh-huh.
I think that he did I'm looking at this and it says delicious. I think he did a delicious job of recording what
Right.
he recorded
Yeah.
because there's hotel footage of this.
Yeah.
And this is something where it could have been simply, and I understand why it wasn't simply just like brushed off, like, get out of here, you fucking
Right.
crazy lady. Like, it was his own personal right to sit there and defend his position and say, no, we're not going to let you look at the phone.
Right.
Why do you have to look at his phone?
Right.
Why is it his phone?
Yeah.
Like, instead of being like, you're fucking crazy, get out of here before I kill you. You know
How-
what I'm saying? Like,
How
you
about
can push somebody off.
Yeah. How about this? Check this out. There was plenty of witnesses. How did not one person, especially hotel manager, even Keon Harold himself, because part of me thinks he was stoking the fire and wanted to create some sort of situation, just because as a black person he's probably already like so outraged.
I think he's outraged.
Which
yeah.
is he's fine. Yeah, I mean he's entitled to be outraged. I understand that. However, how did no one in that situation, like I said, including the hotel manager, just say like, all right, hold on 1 second.
Call the phone.
What's your number? Yeah. what's your number? If his phone lights up and this is the hotel's number coming up, that's your phone. If not,
You have a crazy lady.
yeah.
I see crazy lady. I had a crazy guy try to mug me and take my phone from me in New York.
Yeah.
People think their life is like a soap opera, dude.
Dude,
Life is a soap opera.
Dude, this whole situation could have been mitigated. You wouldn't have even had this racial story to begin with. Now there's lawyers getting involved. They're trying to ruin this woman's life, which is
I hate to
she
say
reacted
this.
like a fucking moron.
I hate to say
yeah.
this, but I feel that a lot of people do shit to see what happens next.
Yeah.
Instead of actually thinking about the actual consequences.
I think
And
that
she did not think of the actual
They
consequences.
just want to see the story
idiot.
unfold. They just like, ooh, like
every man has the right to decide his own destiny, dude. And what he wanted to do was he wanted to put her on fucking blast because he was fed up with everything that he's been watching on TV.
And everything he's probably experienced in his life, too.
I'm sorry, dude. Like, if you watch the TV and you think about your life being the end all be all, the experience of the entire nation or the entire world, you're missing the big fucking picture.
That's what they want.
I'm not saying I don't agree with him. I signed the petition. Hey, fucking throw that lady in a mental asylum, dude.
She is
nuts.
She is crazy.
She looks like she's strung out on some pills.
She's crazy.
The mental health.
One of my boys told me that she was kind of cracking though.
She looks kind of cute.
She had a wagon on her.
Hey, go look her up real quick.
She looks kind of
She
cute.
look good.
Hey, but the
SoHo
mental health
Karen.
in America is an issue that has slowly been steamrolling to get into the bigger light.
That's a bad mugshot. But we'll find something.
Hey, it's not that bad. Because it's the
Trying to
nerdy
find,
look.
They're trying to find the body.
She got a hat on that says "Daddy."
Oh, dude, I saw this interview. This interview was hilarious. She tells this woman, after already being accused of being racist, she's like, all right, that's enough out of you, and does this to the fucking woman.
Okay, I have.
Wow.
Let me come back.
Dude, the lawyer. Wait, you're away from the mic, so ease up.
I like
the
like
lawyer
that-
said you probably shouldn't wear that hat, and so she's like, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Can I tell a little story real quick?
The Karen thing is pretty funny though,
Yeah.
because I remember when they
I feel
used to
bad
be.
for every girl named Karen.
Nah, because remember it used to be Shaniqua. There was a song about Shaniqua.
Nico don't live here no more.
Dog. And then all of a sudden it was LaFonda,
Well, that was Napoleon Dynamite doing that.
and they were poking fun at black girl names.
black girl
So
names.
fuck it, you're a Karen. You're a Karen. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
Yeah, but it sucks if you
Look at what my name is, motherfucker.
Yeah, but it sucks if you're.
Your name's like out
But check this out. It sucks if you're Karen.
We know a Karen.
I know plenty of Karens, dude.
Okay, so
Damn.
Yeah. Dissed Gail King. Yeah, that's when she was like, all right, shh. Like, that's
okay,
enough out of you.
Can
That
I
shit was
tell a little
hilarious.
story real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
My lady and I went to try mead. I've never had mead before.
This is great. I love it.
Honey mead.
Yeah, honey wine. Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to a meadery in close to USD, and
Wow, there's actually quite a few of them.
that's the one.
Lost
the first
Cause?
one. Yes, that's the
Lost
first
Cause.
one. We went there.
Shout out to Lost Cause Meadery.
I'm not gonna talk well about them.
Oh, well, you're about to get ripped right
Well,
now.
we're about to leave them a review.
Yeah, they
Go
got
ahead.
5 stars, but go on, go for it.
So
5 stars out of how many?
So during this whole
enough.
pandemic
29.
thing, they were saying that breweries cannot, basically that mead is still considered a wine.
So breweries can't operate, but wineries
wineries
can.
can.
That's why there's a cider works.
Yeah, cider works over here on 30th. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I was like, and it's wide open. I was all,
So my lady and I, we see the loophole, so we're like, fuck it, let's try it out, and it's something new for us. We're gonna like it.
Yeah.
We go, and mask on. We're being cordial. We're keeping our distance. We're doing everything we can so we can be there and enjoy our time there, abiding by all rules.
Right.
We reached the cashier, nice white lady, and
nice cock, huh?
I was gonna say,
The way he pauses there, he's like, nice
You're
cock.
gonna have to cut that
yeah.
and
I
make
didn't want
that
to.
put the
I
soundboard.
didn't know if Caucasian was.
You said it.
This is good cock.
From the Caucasus region.
She was a good, from the Caucasus Mountains.
Yeah.
And she was like, I told her, I was like, it's our first time here. We never had it. How do we start? Do we do
She's like, you drink it.
She was being very short like that.
I
Though,
mean, you asked me that question, I'm gonna say the same
though
shit.
we were like,
This isn't a brewery, bud. This is a
no.
meadery.
She. So check this out.
super meaty.
We weren't. There was no line. There was people seated, like people that had reservations.
Right.
And we were like the walk-ins. And I told her, I was like, hey, we've never done this before. Yeah, we've never done this before. Like, which one do you recommend, or should we just do like what is it, the flight?
Yeah.
And she goes, well, just do the flight and see which one you like.
They all taste the same. Yeah.
Dude, it was a hipster vibe then.
And immediately I was like, okay, she's on a bad mood.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then I go, am I able to try one before I, select it, sample? You know, they give you like the little, like the small one.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
the first sip.
like a little shot glass.
So she gave me one, and I pulled down my mask to try it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, dude, she did the hand motion. And that, dude, fire in my eyes, like, blew up. So she was like, the mask stays on.
Asian.
You're all not while I drink.
And I said, but you gave me a sample.
Yeah.
I'll go outside, but you should have let me know. Go outside to try it.
Right.
Now I just look like a fucking...
She wanted an excuse to
She wanted an excuse to yell at me.
She's projecting some shit. She
Yeah.
missed the protest, and so she's really upset.
And
I think she saw that you're a chino, dude.
You think?
Yeah.
So
why is everyone racist with you guys?
So-
I like to believe that
a
most
class
people
thing.
aren't racist.
Yeah.
People
So-
are fucking racist.
People are racist for
So-
sure.
Every
it got-
person
it
is
got to the-
racist.
Every person, okay, yes, I will give you that. However, to be malicious about their racism, I think every person's racist where it's like, yeah, there's some stereotypes that, they're true for a reason.
because they're funny.
But if I see Oliver, if I see someone, I'm just like I'm not gonna be like, man, fuck this fool.
I've
And
had
I
a
don't
few
think
encounters that have felt that way, though.
there are those people, but I'm saying I think majority aren't like that. But I
Okay,
think he's
so
saying they are.
Back to the story. It got to the point where I had to tell her, like, you can use your words. Like, like my ego was showing.
Yeah.
My ego was blaring. Like,
What's her name?
I said, you could have used your words. Like, all this just feels a little too much.
Yeah.
Like, you're overdoing it. Like, you're trying to, you're blackfish.
Relax, Bethany.
Yeah. Yeah.
Karen.
Yeah.
I know, but I want to throw a new name in there.
So
Courtney.
it was like, hey man, like I'm an adult, I'll comply. I'm doing the rules, like you should have said if you want to sample it, go outside.
Right.
But no.
No, she wanted. She was projecting. She
It's
wanted.
just like, can you put your mask on while we're here, and then when we're gone, you can take the mask off. It's
Yeah.
like,
So
so I'm still breathing
This-
into this fucking
this
little box.
motion-
These rules don't make sense.
This motion is like that Cardi B power girl where louder seems smarter.
Mhm.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh yeah, I know that.
That's the vibe I was getting, and that pissed me off.
But here's the thing: is you're loud, but you're
You are
not
loud.
loud to people that you're not comfortable with.
Exactly.
Like you save it. You're like your intensity is
I
very
keep-
well.
I keep myself to where I know I'm comfortable with the people around
Right.
me.
Because if you would have spoken loud like that, I saw the veins popping out of your neck.
Oh, like when I flex out.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
probably.
Sickness.
yeah.
That's how you flexed out the Rona.
That's how I flex
She
out
would have
the
been.
Rona.
She would have been terrified if you would have got loud with her.
Oh yeah.
But I kept my composure. I just said, "Hey,
But you want to go crazy.
I wanted
huh?
to, but I wanted to be the bigger man." Where I said, like, "Hey, like, I'm an adult. You
But
like
some
I'll
people are
comply."
tired of being the bigger man. Keon Harold's tired of being the bigger man.
Exactly.
Put her on fucking blast.
Yeah.
Mm.
Instead of just asking, like, call the phone. That's all he had to do.
Instead of being
I
like,
gotta say is
okay.
that all I gotta say is that my girl like applauded me afterwards. Like, I'm glad you didn't like smack her.
That's why it works. That's why it works.
Yeah. Dude,
In reality, if she wasn't there, I would have been like, "What the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
give me the manager."
Oh yeah, you could have gone off.
I sometimes like those situations. If I'm feeling a
Why?
little fiery,
Why?
because I know
You
if
can't fight fire with fire.
oh, but you see, I don't. My fire isn't like that because I won't raise my voice like that. I'll just point out how fucking stupid it is
He's
and
like-
let them get fired.
It's like chemical nasty fire.
yeah, dude.
I don't like
It's
it.
it's just acid. I'm just
Acid, yeah, it's acid. It burns.
That's a bad.
yeah.
It burns. It's muriatic acid.
Yeah.
Just
I like some of those.
But it all reflects back to those moments that we've had many conversations about. Of, is anyone else seeing this right now?
Oh yeah, hello.
Where
well,
it's-
that's the self-righteous. My
That's-
life is a soap opera.
that's your soap opera,
Is anybody
dude.
else seeing
Yeah.
this right here?
Okay. Yeah.
Ah, you're guilty.
It's your life. You have
Hey,
to
I'm
deal with
Latino,
it.
dude.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we
You
love
gotta-
the drama.
Exactly. You got to deal with it yourself in that moment.
There's
Because-
reasons why we don't let people know that they're about to hit a pole when they're backing out because we
Yeah.
want to see it unfold.
That is funny.
My dad did that to my truck. Fuck.
That is really funny though. I don't
But-
know why.
I think that I love being passive. And not even aggressive, just passive or dismissive even.
I'll be dismissive
When
if
somebody's like, "Oh, can you keep your mask on, sir?" I'll be all, put the mask on. Whatever. If I'm like in a public space, I've been at the dog parks where people are like,
yeah.
I'm like 10 feet away, 15 feet away from everyone
Yeah.
else. I'm not wearing a goddamn mask.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
don't
not
do
gonna
that
engage with them either, like saying like, "Hey, like it's okay."
I'm not trying to talk about your puppy.
Exactly.
I don't care about your puppy. I'm
Yeah.
here to make my dogs run. Let them run.
tire
That's
them
it.
out.
People are congregating in the middle of the dog park. This is another grievance that I wanted to get to. So we're kind of moving a little bit.
Hell yeah.
People look for the shade in the dog park and they go and stand under the tree. Next thing you know, there's 20 fucking idiots with stupid thin masks on.
Yeah.
Watching the
Pantyhose,
dogs
essentially.
and talking to each other about their dogs and shit. And
Yeah.
the dogs are coming around and
But that's because people miss social
the
interaction.
dogs start fighting. They're like, they're pulling. I'm like, dude, why
But
don't you
they
guys
wanna
just
talk about
spread the fuck out
Right.
and play with your dog? Let your dog play with other dogs.
Can the
whatever.
Rona get spread on a dog's coat?
That's what they say. They used to say
Hey,
that.
in the beginning of Rona, Australia was euthanizing like their pets.
Let's
because-
okay. Australia is
Just an
fucked up.
excuse.
Australia is a fucked up
Australia
place.
just likes to kill things, dude.
Yeah. Australia with my good friend Zane Graham from New Zealand. Zane, shout out,
shout
my
out,
boy.
shout out.
We first arrived in Australia together, and he goes, we walked to a McDonald's. He goes,
Mate.
you see those iguanas right there? And I'm like, what? This place is like Jurassic Park, mate. He doesn't say mate. He's like
He said mate.
cuzzy.
Cuzzy. I was
Oh,
to
is
say
that their
bro.
slang
They say
or is
bruv
that-
a lot
They
too.
say cuz, bro.
I don't know. Fuck, Lance used to say mate a lot.
But he would say,
Yeah.
so then
but
we were
he's saying
walking.
New Zealand, it's a little different.
Yeah, he's Maori. Yeah. So we're walking back, and then there's like these weird orange birds that you never see. I never seen them before.
Right.
He's like, see that? Jurassic Park.
Fucking dino.
Everywhere you go, Australia is Jurassic Park, dog.
Yeah.
It's kind of
crazy.
like
It's a weird
when you
place.
drive on the H3 in Hawaii, Honolulu. It feels like, well, that's actually where
That it is where they shot
That's
that.
where they shot it.
It's
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
Jurassic
The terrain there. Yeah, that's
No, that's
definitely-
where they filmed it.
But the
yeah.
predators.
They also
like,
filmed I think in Costa Rica, too.
especially because in New Zealand they have zero predatory species.
Yeah,
Ah.
except humans.
Yo, we're the biggest virus on this fucking
Stop
planet.
saying
Humans.
that. Stop saying
We're
that.
the bacteria that's infecting this petri
No,
dish, dude.
no.
We're
See,
colonizing.
That's
Yeah.
so anti-human. I hate it.
No. I have faith in humanity. If
We're not gonna make it though.
We're not.
What does that mean, though?
This
So,
should-
because-
we,
can I
think we are a
dive
virus,
into
and
something?
and our numbers are going to subside into a very ecological, manageable.
So
Right.
size.
Right. But I don't think we. So
I don't think we get off this rock.
I think eventually we get off the rock.
Not in our lifetime.
Potentially not in our lifetime.
But
However,
that's what I was gonna bring up because I didn't expect this revolution to start in our lifetime. Will we travel? Will we colonize other planets in our lifetime?
I think if we colonize other planets, it won't be in this organic form.
But then it's not human anymore.
No. I want to hear this. I want to hear this. I want to hear this.
Dude, if Diego were here, he would fight me to tooth and nail on
But
this
he's
one.
not,
I
so
know,
fuck
it.
he would-
Call him.
he would, no,
No.
he's at work. He's at work. He wouldn't be able to answer.
By the way, we need to have a call-in system.
We'll implement that. This is episode 2. I'm still figuring out all the kinks.
Yeah.
So I think that first of all, look how you have your phone here. You have your phone here. We are. This is an extension of ourselves. We are already in a sense merged with technology, AI, whatever.
I just need that Tesla brain chip, dude.
Right, and that's just another step furthering that. However, once we get there, we're also going to have an understanding of how we do, in a sense, with CRISPR, manipulate our DNA and grow babies in fucking test tubes, whatever. I think the only way to traverse the universe is actually in a robotic form, in some sort of computer form. And then if we find a
Wouldn't be
planet...
us, though.
Right, let me finish. If we find a planet that is habitable, then we can download that consciousness onto a human being.
That's some Black Mirror shit. With
And
the
then
teddy
then
bear?
eventually it becomes us again. I think that is theoretically it is.
But once you're like, once you've uploaded your consciousness or downloaded your consciousness, whatever, into this like whatever,
like
it's
a
a
cloud
bubble
or a cloud
or
yeah,
whatever. like what makes you want to go back into a body that sucks? You
Well,
know,
because the human experience is fucking awesome.
Sensations.
but it's
it
the
is the
consciousness
sensations.
living this experience. But once the consciousness knows that it can have other experiences, like in a cloud, you probably don't want to go back to being a human anymore.
But you may wait, check this out. You may or may not, because here's the thing. What we like to
do you want to play Atari?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes,
But that's my point.
but not always. You wouldn't want Atari
that-
to be your main.
But that's my point. Is
Can
that
I-
the fact that maybe they just want to play human for a little bit.
yeah, I can
Then
see
they're
that.
then they're like, all right, I'm done. Now
But
let
then-
me play this now.
I think at that point we stop being human.
That's fine.
You know what I'm saying? Like we would become
You
a
wouldn't
different
be
type of
human
race, a
anymore,
different.
though.
We become
According to
we
his-
become the aliens in the fucking
Like,
Galactic
again,
Federation.
according to him, you'd just be something floating in space until you want to
Yeah, it's like
reach that molecular vessel.
it's like when I saw my sounds kind of morbid. When I saw my best friend like on a ventilator, and I went in there,
Did it return to the essence?
and his essence was no longer there,
Right.
and so I was like,
Okay.
oh, he's gone.
He returned
were-
to the womb of the universe.
They were his family and all of my friends were waiting there for me to go in there with them all together to go see him.
Yeah.
In grievance?
No, as in like go check him out, talk to him, he might be
maybe
able to hear
yeah.
you, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
And-
coma state?
Yeah, like his dad was like, he goes, tears welling up in his eyes, and he's like, good to see
Dile
you,
algo,
Omar.
cabrón,
He
ajá.
goes in English, he's like, give him hell.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, that was, oh, dude, he's telling me about his son. His son's on fucking life support. I go in there and I was like, oh, he's gone.
Yeah.
I love Robbie.
You can't come
Rest
out.
in
You
peace,
can't
Robbie
come out.
Mandela.
You can't come out and say that to the fam either.
I love him, but I looked at the body and I was like, oh, he's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Because his essence, your essence,
Yeah.
I feel it even when I'm not close to you, right? Like, I know who you are. I'm familiar with you.
It's like one of those situations where, like, if you hear something and you hear it in someone else's voice, you hear it in someone else's voice. Like,
Right.
when I was in Indonesia and I saw all what I saw, I heard Diego over my shoulder saying, like, I'm so fucking horny.
Yeah. I remember that. I rember that.
Crazy.
Crazy.
I heard him, dude. Like,
Check this out. Now, what if this essence that you speak of, this consciousness that we don't even know what the fuck consciousness really is.
That's what I'm saying. Like, those kind of things are.
So let's
That's a
how do we know
whole different
that is actually a human thing? Because we get
We don't
super
know.
trippy with it. We go like Randall Carlson, Graham Hancock stuff with it, and we could be like, maybe
was-
wait, let me finish this thought. Maybe what I actually had said that we're working towards has already happened, because there are those crazy outlandish theory that there's a huge gap in the evolutionary catalog
Right.
of human beings where all of a sudden we went from like chimps essentially to what we are now.
right.
There's that theory that there was some sort of weird manipulation with DNA. What is to say
I've never heard
that
of
that's
that,
what
by the way.
it's some fucking stupid fringe like
Yeah.
pseudoscience. But what I'm saying is like you can make up anything at this point because there's something missing. So
And
this
people
is
will follow it.
This is a hypothesis that if you find the evidence, then you can start testing these
Well,
things.
it's
So that's
just
what
like-
that's where I'm.
When they start looking at all these ancient, like, artifacts and archaeological sites, and they see all this.
and give their own interpretations on it.
Yeah, they give their own interpretations on it, but also, like, think about it. If Donald Trump just left the Trump buildings up and everything withered away and all that was left was the Trump building, they'd be like, what is this?
Yeah,
This must be a ceremonial place of, whatever. And it's
dude,
just
that's how I every time it was you and I when we were
Okay.
watching. It was him and I when we were watching.
Lost in translation.
there's a
quote,
couple of,
unquote.
there's a couple of
Yeah.
good podcasts. There's one called
La Cotorrisa.
There's one called Archeo Ed, which I like him, but that one's just he talks about American, like, whether it's like Mesoamerican, pre-Columbian stuff, or all the way back to like Denisovian
Right.
and Clovis.
Brian, I drink
But
a
there's-
six-pack already.
There's another
know.
one called.
You're good. It's Morning Drinkers podcast.
It is called.
You're drinking for both of us.
I gotta give it to you because you're gonna like this one. It's called A Life in Ruins.
Hell yeah.
And they just get
Podcast?
all these like grad students and like postdoctoral doctorate guys
Have you
talking
ever listened
about.
to Science Versus?
Hold on.
So-
Don't
yes,
don't
I
derail. Don't derail.
No. I'm not doing that. I just wanted to as
They-
a personal question.
That's how I got sucked into it because they're talking about Cerruti, the stuff that they dug up here in San Diego,
Off the 54.
and they're totally just debunking the shit out of
What are
it.
you talking about?
Really? Like
don't
it's
know.
not a real.
I don't know
Like
what
it's
you're
not
talking about.
it's not like a human
Can you
human
guys?
site.
I don't
like-
know what the fuck you guys are talking about.
They in the 90s they dug up mastodon remains over off the 54, in Chula
like
Vista
when they were
National
building
City.
the 54 freeway.
Yeah, they found these mastodon
Look that
remains.
up. I've never heard of this before.
It's at the Museum of Man.
It's over here
in
in
Balboa
Balboa
Park.
Park, yeah.
I was at the Museum of Man. Never saw that.
Dude, so check it out. They dug up these bones, but then they started seeing these scientists noticed that there was kind of like spiral fractures and stuff like that
So
on
it's
them.
Fugazis?
But they say that it was like human.
That
There's
it-
all these
that-
cobblestones that were supposedly used to bash these
Yeah, like tools,
bones
like
and
very primitive tools.
to extract bone marrow from them.
So these
So-
kids, these students, are saying that.
No, they're freaking PhDs and shit.
Okay, so they're legit. So they're
cats.
they're completely debunking it. What did they say? I'll listen to it.
Debunking what? Debunking
What-
what?
what-
Debunking what?
Debunking that the fact that they weren't tools.
Yeah,
That,
that they're trying to say that this was an ancient a human site, like a civilization.
yeah.
Where it's like there is really no trace of a civilization or even man being here at that
scavengers.
point, using tools to extract bone.
So
marrow
they're still buying the Clovis theory.
they're kind of
Wait,
Clovis
wait,
first guys.
Yeah.
but they're also just like, okay, there is not enough. We have a checklist of things,
Yeah.
And
to
it's not
tell us-
checking everything.
and there is no check marks on the list. Because what happened there? I mean, I'm not a
You're not an archaeologist.
Scientist. I'm not an archaeologist.
scientist, Doc.
But it's super interesting because I was after reading a bunch of freaking Graham
shit,
Hancock and all these guys, then I start being like, yeah, man.
I gotta get into these
people-
writers.
Well, I mean, I like listening to both sides, so I'll definitely check this out. I want to know what it is because Graham addresses that kind of stuff, especially the
Okay.
Clovis first people. He addresses that stuff in his books, so like I'm interested into
That guy David Ian Howe, I follow him on Instagram because he has this like cool all that artwork and stuff. I think it's an Italian guy that does it, but they do like he does all this like ethnokinology or something. It's about like dogs' evolution with man.
Yeah.
These aren't the podcast.
And so I like this guy. Yeah, this is the shit I listen to. Anyways, he's pretty cool, and he comes out on some TV shows and shit.
David Ian Howe.
I've listened to was it?
The other one, Archeo Ed Barnhart, is a good one. Sorry,
No, keep
and
going.
he's one of the guys that comes out on Ancient Aliens,
Sick.
but he's definitely not an Ancient Aliens guy.
That's fine. See, I like all that shit.
Me too,
I
yeah.
usually
Yeah, you guys like that.
No. But what I'm saying is, I like usually if there's something that I believe in, or I'm like I'm feeling like I'm becoming
So
a
something
believer.
I
You
want to
have a-
believe it.
Yeah,
something
if-
you're
soon as-
passionate about.
Sure, but as soon as I start feeling overwhelmed by like, oh, I want to believe that, I have to go to the other side.
That's why I only listen to Republican radio.
I-
No,
I
wait,
jump-
wait. We'll get into that. But like,
I jump to the other side.
no. But it's almost like you want to, but you want to convince yourself not to.
What do you mean?
As in, like, you want to believe what you're hearing, but you're also, because you're straying away from it purposely, you want to debunk it on
Yeah.
your own.
No, I want to see who's providing like
The
really
opposite
good evidence
strong
because
evidence.
So is it because you want to see what's true and what's not to see if it overlaps?
isn't that the goal to find out what's true?
Yeah, I think that truth is a balance.
Yeah.
I've
Ooh, that's nice.
never listened to a podcast to listen to any truth. It's clearly entertainment.
Well, yeah, but you were listening to different podcasts, obviously. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't listen to these podcasts.
right. But that's what but like, I like to read.
Oh, Archeo. Oh yeah, so you're missing an A after the H.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
It's a common mistake. Don't worry.
All right.
Wait.
Archeo Ed. That's what it is. Let me make sure. It's on Spotify. I'll send it. I'll share it to you.
Yeah, just,
Like,
it just
I listen to like Philosophize This.
I listen to Philosophize. That's a good podcast,
Yeah, it's a
too.
very good podcast.
But see, that's different because Philosophize This isn't necessarily like seeking out
Exactly.
history.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, and I have these.
I don't want to challenge what
I like challenging what I think I know because I like to think I still don't know
Philosophize This
anything.
does that though. So
It does that when
What I
it.
was trying to say is like I'm not trying to debunk anything on purpose.
But I'm not setting out to debunk anything. I'm just setting out to learn because I am fascinated with humans as a species. I'm fascinated with where we're going, where we've come from. We have a very cyclical pattern that we achieve.
History tends to repeat itself when it comes
Exactly.
to our
But that's
habits,
why I was getting to like this
and
pseudoscience, sci-fi kind of.
which is cool that you take the initiative on your own to explore these avenues.
Thank you. I was actually searching for a compliment on my research. Thank you, Oliver.
Hey man, you know me, baby. I always
Give
I'll always-
him his master's. You know,
But at the end
Cap
of the
and
day,
gown.
what I'm trying to say is that
It's a giant waste
You
of time.
faded, boy.
dude, I drank a 6-pack.
Six, I know.
We went to
It's
we went to
kicking in.
Guitar Center and I was drinking,
kicking
dude.
in.
Like
Inside a Guitar Center?
No, inside of my
Pandemic's
car.
great, isn't it?
No, actually, I was telling Brian that like going to Guitar Center for me is like traumatic almost because like
Make
I
it
used
some
to
water.
get dragged there by my dad,
Yeah.
and it was never it was fun, but then it turned into like, okay, can we leave now? Because it was like the time where like my dad would get out of the house and geek out.
On guitars and basses and stuff.
Yeah, just to like he would love going down the aisles, just even shit that he
Browsing.
didn't. Yeah.
It's like going to Home Depot with your dad. Or Harbor Freight. And you're
Oh shit,
Hey,
Harbor Freight, dude. But was it East Palomar or L Street? Yeah, by the Napa.
My dad was not handy. I never did any of that shit.
No, oh my god, no. The store that I used to go to a lot was the Freightliner store, and also, no, yeah, Harbor Freight.
Yeah.
Because it was the discount tool store, dude. Like,
anytime there was tools anywhere, a garage sale, my dad wouldn't look at anything else. He would go look at the tools.
yeah.
And then we would go to swap meet. We'd come up here to swap meets or like Hemet. And it was just like,
Damn.
The
Hemet's
National City Swap Meet
it's
were
the
the
junk, all the bottom. That's where I go now.
Yeah.
because we go for what we know,
That's
dude.
all I care about
Yeah.
anymore.
In-
I go to Harbor Freight like to spend 2 hours
geek
walking
out.
around.
To geek out.
Can I help you, sir?
I
No.
was looking, yeah.
Just browsing.
No, so
That's so funny. I do not do any of those. Any of
yeah,
that.
man.
Harbor Freight is like cheap.
I've been to Harbor Freight. I needed to get some jumper cables a while back. So
Home Depot's nice.
I mean, I went to Home Depot and Lowe's plenty of times when I
Home
was
Depot has
doing
been
this.
nice for different reasons now.
Yeah, Home Depot.
Oh,
has it
Because
going
they've
on.
been hiring people that don't
I agree.
usually shop at Home Depot,
I agree.
and they
I
know
agree.
about tools.
and they have to learn
Yeah.
about tools
Yeah.
to help their customers.
I will say, I wish I were more handy, and this whole place that I have going on right here.
I have to give you props at that you actually involved yourself in the remodeling of your new place, as
Yeah.
into the fact that you got your hands dirty to a certain extent, which is where we're in the age of we hire people.
yeah,
We're in
and,
the age of like, oh, I'll read a Yelp review and someone will do it.
Hey, we hire people, and then those people go and complain that they're not getting paid enough to do it.
right.
Yeah.
No, I like figuring things out. I like if it's something that I feel like I can definitely figure out, I'll attempt it. I've done that with almost anything. Music. I'm essentially self-taught.
Right.
Jiu-jitsu. No one took me to jiu-jitsu. I was like, I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go figure that out.
You have that natural ambition in you
For certain things, yeah.
to search for what you find
To seek the truth.
seek the truth. No, but like, I mean, when it comes to martial arts, especially, like, goddamn, like, I always felt like the loner
Yeah.
because I was the only one that geeked out about it. Out of our entire friend,
Right.
okay, high school, like,
Right.
we had different generations. Brian was just attached to it because of Diego.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was in high school, I always felt like the nerd of the group because I was into martial arts and I was competing and shit, and I didn't really have.
Oh, what do you think? You're the Karate Kid?
Yeah.
I didn't have a
yeah.
social life. Like, I didn't really go to a lot of parties and stuff because I was fucking trainings to go to nationals or like
Right.
fucking junior Olympic qualifiers, like shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then because you found it later on in life compared to when I was immersed to it.
My
already.
parents, I wanted to do something. My parents wouldn't let me. The stuff that I do now is literally because
you wanted to.
because I wanted to. My parents didn't want me or
or
didn't
had
put
no
me.
say in it.
Like literally everything that I do now is like I wasn't allowed
Everything,
to play an
huh?
instrument. Yeah, all the fucking everything.
And you know what's
Why are you
crazy?
looking at me?
Okay, so Brian's life and my life have a lot of overlap in contrast in a sense where like martial arts and
We know
music-
about the Venn diagram, dude.
the Venn
Oh, yeah.
yeah, no, but martial arts and music is
Pull up the Venn diagram.
specifically. My dad forced me into music as much as he forced me into martial arts. As in, where it was a thing that Brian grabbed.
And this guy's
me.
complaining about that.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I'm just
Damn
saying
it.
that like Brian found it on his own and pursued it on his own. As
Mm-hmm.
if for me it was forced upon, and then I had to learn to love it.
Right.
Whereas he loved it from the start.
He broke you down.
Yeah.
So my dad was a cop in Rosarito.
How's this the first time I'm hearing?
And he was like putting on.
Wait. Oh, so Diego knows this.
He was
has
putting on
like
a
this,
gi.
like I've shown pictures of like to Diego of my dad in uniform and shit, like in that Mexican khaki cop uniform.
I thought
Diego's
he was
like,
in the
"Hell yeah."
military. I didn't know he was a cop.
He was in the
They
military
have
as well.
to, yeah,
I know, but I didn't know he was
enlist
a
in the
cop.
military. Yeah,
Yeah, so he was in the Armada, and then he went to the fucking. He was
That's
the police.
great.
it's
So-
badass.
That's
Dude,
awesome.
so my dad. So the only Polaroid picture I have of my dad in his cop uniform, he looks like
Dirty cop.
was it the Mexican guy in the cop show?
Eric Estrada.
Eric Estrada. He looks like that with the hair and everything. He looks like that.
He was getting so much tail.
Yeah, dude. It's unfortunate how many unclaimed kids. Dude.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
yeah. But
For
yeah.
him, at least.
So my dad told me that when he was a police officer in Rosarito, they were teaching him kung fu. Dude.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And
He's all the Bruce Lee movies that just
Dude.
come out.
That's it. That's all they needed to watch.
Yeah. So
That was their training videos.
so my dad was like,
Bruce
it
Lee.
it brought me discipline and it taught me how to defend myself. Like it was
Right.
something that obviously the street motherfuckers didn't know. So I need to enroll my kid in something that's gonna bring the same thing that brought me.
Yeah.
So he forced karate on me because I was being a rambunctious kid in middle school.
Right.
And I had that little man syndrome. I've always been a skinny kid where like some people would pick on me, but I'd be like, I wouldn't take no shit.
No se dejaba.
I'm like, yeah, exactly.
funny.
So my dad was like, fuck it, if he's gonna like defend himself, might as well defend himself with some moves,
Yeah.
you know?
Let him learn some real shit.
Yeah. So again, it was forced on me. When I first was taking the karate, I was like, there was a boxing gym next door. And I was like,
You're
why do I
like,
gotta
I wanna
do karate?
box.
Like,
Yeah, I just want to go hit. I want to go hit.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember my first class, they were teaching us basically how to evade and how to fall. So I was like, why am I learning this? I should be learning how to fuck mother people.
He's like, Dad, they're teaching me to curl up in a
learning-
ball.
You're just
Yeah,
learning
exactly.
katas.
Exactly. And then if it was after my first tournament that I got fucked up, that I realized, okay, like maybe I gotta think about this differently.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get fucked up out here.
Exactly.
Your dad's paying for it. Your dad's pissed that you got fucked up that time.
That's funny.
My dad telling me to go to karate classes was like, I'm paying for this.
You better get good.
Yeah, exactly. My first tournament, and I told her I got fucked up and I lost. My mom
What's his
told
name?
me, and she said, "Why the fuck did I pay for us to go to Vegas just to see you get fucked up?"
Yeah. To
Hey,
basically watch him lose.
Did they give you a sword and just be like, do it, end it?
almost, dude. Almost. But it was like my mom literally said, like, I could have fucked you up at home.
That's
Like,
fucking hilarious.
like, why did I pay? Like, we could have done it at home for free.
Oh, I'm gonna do it for free on the way home. Just
And ever
fuck your
since
ass.
then, dude, I was like, man, okay.
You're like, my mom's not fucking me up.
everything I have to do it, like, I have to fucking go hard, dude.
Wow.
that's
That actually explains how you drill.
that
Hammer
guilt.
died.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It doesn't have that much battery life?
No, I died.
Can we plug it in and
Yeah,
keep using it?
But I left the cable in the car.
Fuck it.
What kind of cable does it use?
It's a micro. No, not the micro. The mini USB. It's old. It's an old GoPro, dude.
I know you got a box of cables in here somewhere.
I got a box of cables, but let's just fucking keep it running.
You want to flip the
You want to put
camera
that?
over
You
there?
want to put that camera there? It's a good angle. I gotta pee anyways, dude. I've been drinking so fucking much.
Take a
today.
piss. Take a piss. Just let's see how far along we're in anyway, because I don't even know.
I'm sure we're like an hour in, or an hour 30.
2 hours.
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. That's cool. Whatever. That's funny. So you didn't do any more. So my parents they didn't want me to do any martial arts because they thought it would make me violent, or at least more violent than I already was. So they were just like, nah.
Yeah, it's like it was an excuse to have him get violent instead of understanding like you can blow off some steam in there.
Yeah.
You learn a little bit about respect. I did.
Yeah.
I did. Like I went to this karate class like twice, I think, and then it was like I don't think they were into it because they didn't see what was going on. Then we got put into boxing. We chose to go to boxing. I wanted to do karate though. I did it more. I did it for a little while because I remember I even got like a shirt with like the I didn't compete or anything, but I
Little
did for a while.
patch.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I didn't
showing
get
real.
I didn't get anything like that. Honestly, part of me actually also thinks my dad was like insecure. I don't think he eventually wanted to get a son that could kick his ass.
Nowadays, he's like got a crowbar on him. all
my
the
my dad was always like loudmouth, like city guy. Like I think he thought like he could fight or something.
He'll know what to do when the time comes.
That kind of thing, that kind of vibe. And then, as I got older, I was like, when have you ever gotten in a fight? Like, I've never heard any stories. Like, I feel like you wouldn't know what to fucking do.
Never
But
been in a fight.
I don't know.
That's a good thing.
I mean, yeah, that's great. It's not cool to fight.
I know guys that have been training for like 20 years who have never been in a fight before.
And see, those are the ones, though, you don't want to mess with if they've been training that long. But, yeah, it's interesting. They literally didn't want me to be violent. And I was like, dude, I already have violent thoughts. Let me just blow off this.
Yeah, it'd be better if you got it off like in a safe way rather than just letting it build up.
And that actually is why, when Oliver was talking about keeping his cool with that lady, I said sometimes I like those situations, like where
To test yourself?
well, no, it's not necessarily to test myself, but like I'll become a little more sarcastic or just kind of like make them look stupid. But part of me, like I'm so moody. If I trained earlier that day, I'll probably be super passive like you. I'll probably be like, okay, yeah, put on my mask, whatever. But if it's been like a week, 2 weeks where I haven't trained,
like, fuck that.
I'm like, man, fuck you.
You're
Like,
moody. You're moody.
I'm moody, super
So-
moody.
You're
so
like me
good.
when I'm hungover, dude. I'm such a diva. Dude, like,
You're like me with a cold. No, I'm just kidding.
Man
first
cold-
of
the
all,
man cold.
all guys with the cold,
Yeah,
we
the
turn
man
into-
cold is real.
Terminal.
Yeah.
I
How bad
remember-
is it? Terminal.
I remember
Spinal.
I remember at the
Let's see, 2:30.
Coquito.
I wanted to make a coquito.
if okay, let me turn it around and bring something light to it. But if there's any good memories that I have from that Proctor Valley Lodge is when I remember you had the room in the bottom by the bathroom.
I slept in the guest room.
You slept in the guest room and you had like the Pancho Villa marijuana bag on the wall, the potato sack.
Yeah,
And I remember
he had an altar too.
and you had because he was like, what that kid, dude.
Yeah,
You had
he's so ceremonial.
you had
Ceremonious.
Yeah.
you had a chess piece
He has a chess piece still.
that I think it was the Aztecs versus the Conquistadors.
It was Aztecs versus Conquistadores, yeah.
Bro, I fell in love with it. Of
course you did.
I fell in love with
She
it.
told me I would have gave it to you. I was in
Dude.
my generous days.
Dude, I loved it. And I was just like, okay, like, where the fuck am I? Like, is this a weird vibe? I like this.
Yeah, I like it. I don't even know his real name.
I remember I came out of your room because you sent me to your room for something. And then I came out, I couldn't find whatever the fuck
I think he was popping his Diego's zit in the bathrooms when he came out.
yeah. So I remember you sent me to your room. I didn't find whatever the fuck you sent me for, so I came out and then it was for a cigarette.
Yeah,
It was
that
for a
makes sense.
cigarette.
And
And I
I
remember
got cigarettes in there. Go ahead.
yeah, no. And then you're like, it's a bag, and you had like the bugle at the top.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're like,
Don't
you
touch,
want one,
don't
roll
touch,
your own.
Don't touch the rum on the altar.
Yeah. You're like, if you want a cigarette, roll your own. And then I never rolled before, dude. And then I remember like I tried rolling one and like I pinched the top and Omar immediately was like, why are you trying to make it look all cool, dude? Like, rolling it like if it was a joint.
Joint,
or
I would
something.
have dick. I would have dick.
Yeah,
And I was just like, man, like I'm trying to fit in over here. Like it was my first time.
yeah, because you guys were really young when I brought Diego
I
over
was
there for the first time.
19.
You guys were
I
young.
was
you guys-
18, 19.
Yeah.
18, 19.
I sometimes regret that. I was like, dude, he was too young to bring over
I
there.
remember when I brought over.
There's a part of us that kind of did it.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're gonna bleep this, right?
You brought it.
Hey,
I know. I brought him.
you're gonna bleep this, right?
I mean, how much do I have to believe?
Okay, so I remember when I brought over and we took a hit from the bong. It was the night that Monskis was like the motherfucking preamble. That's
Yes.
it, yeah.
The motherfucking preamble.
So it was that night. I
Dude, I
remember.
remember Monski was always over there, dude.
Yeah. So
I brought everybody over,
you
dude.
brought everybody.
check this out.
I like bringing people together.
Okay, so check this out. So was playing Chopin on the piano,
Yes.
playing Chopin, and then Tony was like, "You guys want to hit from the bong?" And I wasn't really smoking back then, and I remember was like, "Yeah, let me take a hit," and she took a hit and she shotgunned it to me.
Oh, it's hot.
And I just remember like our
That's really
heads,
hot.
like,
19 years
split.
old?
Oh, it's so
I just
hot.
remember our
At
heads.
19, I'm already buzzed.
Oh,
Check
yeah,
this out. I
right.
remember our heads split, and Omar was sitting on the couch, like he just goes, "That's hot." like you enjoyed it more than we actually did.
Than
in
you
the
did,
act.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He's like, that's all I need later tonight. That's all I need is that.
Yeah.
Yo, what about the time that we had to go talk to that girl's mom, and I did all the talking and you didn't do shit?
I was just saying that.
You were just saying.
Dude, imagine her
Omar
mom.
said like, "Let me go out there because I'm the adult."
Right.
Dude, I had like dreads and a
Dreads,
beard
yeah.
and tattoos.
The
and a
worst person
open
to send
shirt,
out there.
open-
You should have just sent Tony out there. That was the worst person to send out there.
Oh my god.
We were like, "What if she came in and she heard like this fucked up jazz?" She
Yeah.
just like looked over, just like, "Ah."
You're smoking reefer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you
That
were
was the
fucking
re-
the couch.
That was a Reefer Madness fucking trailer right there.
Reefer madness, dude.
Reefer Madness. Wow.
Heifer.
Kiefer.
Yeah, nowadays kids look at that, they're like, that's whack. Where's all
I mean,
the
it's the
Xanax?
same. It's the same.
Where's
yeah.
the Xanax?
Okay, can we-
Where's the
can we-
Prozac?
You're bringing this up, and
Oh, yeah.
can we touch the base, or can we touch the subject of the fact that we buy weed from dispensaries instead of dealers now?
Mm-hmm.
I never had that experience. Well, I had that experience in Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
but it was legal in California, so all my friends over here went to dispensaries. But when I was in Hawaii, I still had to go to dealers.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you
And-
came back over, you're like, "What is this? A whole new world."
Exactly. It was such a
I'm
different
learning.
feel,
I'm
dude.
learning that the common theme with you so far is that I never thought I would live in a world like this. Like that. Like that is
Yeah.
that is the
That's a
theme.
common
It's
theme. Common
yeah.
Realization, yeah.
Yeah.
You're in awe. of-
Yeah.
Whereas I think Brian and I are kind of more like, yeah, this place is fucked. It's
Yeah.
going to shit.
And
Yeah.
for me, it's still new.
Yeah.
Look at this
I'm
light coming in.
still
kinda dope, huh?
unraveling.
You should
it.
see the sunsets I get.
Switch the camera angle.
You should
Yeah,
see the
'cause this is
sunsets
that-
that I get in my bedroom. They're dope.
He does get a good sunset from his window.
Man.
Now, I have to say this. I don't know if it's because I lived or experienced a different lifestyle, crossing the border and everything. But there's still a lot of things of San Diego that I don't know yet.
Right. Me too, because I'm not from here either. So yes.
So I did my high school here, but I never went out.
What year was that?
So I went to high school here 2006, 2010.
So we've been in San Diego for the same amount
Same
of
amount
time.
of time.
And during that time, I was very, I was competing in karate like at the junior Olympic level. So I didn't have a life.
I was getting drunk and fighting motherfuckers.
So we didn't have lives. And I didn't experience San Diego.
I was just smoking a lot of weed.
Graduated high school, went to Hawaii, and came back in 2017, 18. And I'm barely finding like Sunset Cliffs and shit for the first time.
Right.
Like the staple San Diego shit. And I'm,
So you had a bad day. That was the number one
Yeah.
single.
Pop, Lock, and Drop It was fucking huge, dude.
So check this out. What you guys know that Clint Eastwood by the Gorillas
Yeah.
was
Oh,
20 years ago?
yeah. That's crazy, huh?
Dude, I was at work. There's a dude that
that
works.
makes you feel old now.
I went to the Gorillaz concert at Gibson Theater.
Dude, this cat works, across the way from me, and he's like, he always DJs in there, and he put on Clint Eastwood. I was like, oh, that's such a good song. And I was like, he goes, yeah, man, I remember this video used to freak me out when I was a kid. And I was all,
like, kid.
a kid? And then I was like, when did that come out? And it was like, came out, I was like, I was in high school. I was all, dude, I was already doing bad stuff. And this song meant something totally different to me than it did to
Yeah.
you, dude. Like, and then I was like, holy
2001,
crap.
20 years ago this year.
20 years
Wow.
fly
By the way,
by.
great song. Did you ever see the MTV
Video.
Cribs
Video.
video of
So dope.
Gorillaz?
So dope.
So dope, dude.
I mean, dude, yeah, they're
I went to the Gorillaz concert in Gibson Theater in LA when they were touring their album Plastic Beach. And
a cool hit band, man.
And that summer, I think, they had done Coachella before.
Way ahead of its time.
Oh, yeah.
And Snoop Dogg did their intro with the Hypnotic Brass Ensemble.
I remember that.
Used to be known as Youngblood or something. Or
No, Youngblood Brass Band's a different band. Hypnotic's their own thing.
So I thought it was the same people.
No,
to be
it's not the
honest.
same.
And when I heard that intro at the beginning of the concert, it blew
Virus?
my fucking mind, dude.
Dude, these guys are so badass. Look at that.
Blur.
That's me playing bass
That
right
is
there.
you.
Let's give a shout out to Blur because I mean
Blur is dope.
This is funny.
I'm assuming it's what inspired this.
Wow. So we're actually only an hour and a half. I don't know why it said 2 hours. Based on
Yeah, I checked my phone. It wasn't that long.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, I know why it says 2 hours. It's the tempo clock is at 120.
Dude, tell the funky Homo sapien.
Yeah.
okay, so there's a YouTube guy called Vlad TV. I don't really agree with a lot of the shit he does.
I think I know who you're talking about.
And he interviewed Del the Funky Homo Sapien. And Del says that he was persuaded to write this song.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to write this song. But
Really?
again, plata habla. O sea,
Yeah.
like, at the end of the day, we want to get paid, dude.
You know, I think that guy is, and you know, the instances that I've heard of and not dealt with personally, but, you know, through the music scene, he's kind of difficult cat. And
Del?
Yeah.
He's special.
Yeah, he's special.
He entitled special.
I'm gonna send this to you.
Yeah.
Sith meditation.
Oh, yes. That's when you're feeling
Send it
really
to him,
sippy.
not me.
That's what you listen to when you're home alone, huh,
Absolutely.
motherfucker?
Light a candle.
Sith meditation. Hell yeah. That's dope.
Yeah. What a weird thing to be like famous and successful and then just become very difficult for everything in life.
What, like Lauryn Hill?
Like Kanye West.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
They just,
Oh, you didn't hear? He's pretty difficult.
these people are just like, their artistry puts them in a, I don't want to say like a position of power, but kind of like an influencer mentality, what they call nowadays like influencers.
Yeah.
And they start believing the shit
Yeah.
That they
that
read.
people tell them.
Oh,
you know what
Kanye
I'm
for
saying?
sure, dude.
okay.
Because there's a lot of really humble people that are super duper successful.
It's like
that just like
I don't know.
didn't-
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
considered a disease already, but like the type of people that believe their own lies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Kanye.
like I understand that Kanye believes he's a genius because he believes his own crappy metaphors.
Yeah.
He believes he's God. It's like, okay, the word God doesn't mean anything to you, obviously.
Yeah.
So your word doesn't mean anything. But he's kind of brilliant when it comes to like music, you know. I really do. I really
He's
do
creative.
enjoy a lot of his music, and he's prolific. He's cranking stuff out. But God, no.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Man,
it's a
fuck Kanye
fine
West.
line to ride.
Nah, I mean, I don't think I can name like one of his most recent like songs.
Not recent. Not
Recently,
I
like,
can name a lot of his old shit.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's the stuff that when it first came out, we were in high school, and that was pretty bad.
that was dope.
The beats were dope.
Yeah.
So from interviews that I've heard, interviews where Kanye's not present, where people talk of Kanye,
Mm-hmm.
they say that he was a dope producer, but always instilled on the people like, hey, I can rap too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
That like people never asked. That he
Yeah.
just always showed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So it's like,
obviously, a
do
very
you ride what you know you're strong in, or do you want to promote? Do you want to promote something you want to get good at?
those annoying fucking cats that you know that are just like, oh man, I got this mixtape. Oh, you got to check out my demo.
But how many of them
You
are
have
good?
You have to have that type of drive to get to
It's a
where he is.
hustler
Right.
mentality.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
because obviously he's good. He's not like the greatest producer of all time.
He's
not the greatest
he's not
rapper
a good
either.
Not the greatest
lyricist at
rapper,
all.
but he's got really good shit.
He's got
So,
he's got a very good hustle.
He know.
I think that
exactly.
good hustle, and also it's that whole like you know, like the golf thing. Like how many swings are you gonna take? You know, like
Mhm.
you have to keep just going. Some of that shit's gonna stick.
Right. It's
And
like
so-
Alex Jones and his predictions. Eventually, one of them's gonna land, right?
But
real.
it's from like a. I don't like. I always feel very weird categorizing myself in this place. But like in an artist standpoint, you have to give him props for continuing to fuel the flame of wanting to have followers following him. But how much of it is dope? How much of it is actual substance?
See, I don't
clout and hype.
agree. I don't agree with that. Like,
in what sense?
giving him props for wanting to have followers. Like,
It's not, but it's part of the game. At least for today's game.
I guess, but to me, like, I don't know. His mentality wasn't so based, like, back when he was first coming up, I don't think was so based on attaining followers. I think it was based on just like, I
Getting known.
produce bomb ass beats, and it's about that. Whereas now it's switched over where I think you're saying like he just wants limelight.
Yeah, he wants to be greater than just that.
Yeah,
which is cool. I think that's okay.
The ambition is cool.
But like the way he goes about
it is frustrating.
Yeah, like just keep doing cool shit.
Yeah.
The followers are gonna be there regardless. Just keep doing cool shit.
Like, it may be cheesy as fuck, but Family Business is one of my favorite Kanye beats, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
and
cool.
when I think of Kanye, I want to think of that beat and that song, but I tend to think of just the bullshit he's been involved in.
Right. Well,
And
I
that's
think
what
of flashing
sucks,
lights.
dude.
Mm-hmm.
I think flashing lights. That was
groundbreaking when it hit.
Oh, that's a whole mood for me. Like I put that song on, transports me really. But I think that a lot of this new hustle mentality, people, how can I say, without saying it's so lame, but yeah, people have it fucked up. Like, we went through an era, and I'm saying I went through an era because I'm over it now. But I believed in this very strongly when it was happening, that you had to be your own artist, creative, producer, marketing, publicist, everything.
Oh, that's funny because that's like
You had to
the
be-
vibe that I'm on now.
Right. No, but check this out. It's okay.
Look what I'm doing.
Right. You have to be all that stuff for yourself. I think it's really great. But now, I'm like, no. I just want to go back to I just want to be
The olden days.
the creative, or I just want to be one part of the cog. I want to be part of the whole
Surrounded by-
system.
You don't want to spread yourself out too thin.
I want to go back to just being a little part of the system because I tried, and I'm not good at it.
Right.
But I know how to use
I've had
Photoshop
such
and
a-
Final Cut Pro.
I've had
and
such
Pro
a different
Tools.
experience, I guess, because you guys.
I've
so-
been late to every game.
So first of
So-
all,
so-
I
so
don't
far
want
in my
to
life.
so the performing arts is something that I'm barely, getting
into, yeah.
Yeah. So for me and the performing arts that I'm involved in, I had to do everything. All the, I wasn't part of a band.
Right.
Mhm.
Whereas, you can kind of segregate jobs to certain people. I don't know. Where it's like what you're talking about.
Delegate.
I felt like I had to do that from the beginning. Where it's like you almost feel like you graduated to that position.
Somewhat. I feel like it is a cycle. Like you have to go through the moment where you're just like, say me, for instance, just a little punk ass kid playing bass in his room, practicing bass. And then I went to I got to be the studied, learned bass player that understands
Credibility.
this and this and that. And it was like gathering information to give myself maybe a little credibility, but also to have
I mean, you're building your resume, dude.
a sort of library to choose from. And then it turned into I got to handle every part of this business. And part of it was because I felt like if I didn't do it, nobody was going to do it for me. So I kind of went for that thing. And it was short-lived because I've always been a sideman and I've just been a bass player mostly. But now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay.
But you haven't had the same experiences he has. So how did you go about it?
Yeah, we have different trajectories for
Well,
sure.
yeah, this is different. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'm kind of late to the game. If you want, like this whole quarantine, I learned more about production. I kind of touched on that years ago, and I was like, you know what? I was like you, where I was like, I want to just be like a part of the machine, so to speak. He was saying he wanted to be a part of the cog. Like, I wanted to be more of a traditionalist. If I was going to compose or write anything, I wanted to do it by hand. Then eventually, I would have people record it. you know, kind of that.
Okay.
But I think you're right. It becomes kind of cyclical. I think now doing what I'm doing and learning this stuff, like he said, he learned Pro Tools, he learned Final Cut. I don't have Final Cut. I use iMovie.
Mhm.
It's very basic for what
Yeah,
I need,
but it works.
and it works.
Yeah.
So I'm learning all this. I'm learning the whole podcast game now, how to do all this other shit. I think once you acquire those skills yourself, though, you are able to now distinguish when you do want to go back to being part of the machine. You now are able to recognize who has the skills that you want to surround yourself with.
And what those skills take. Like being a business owner, you go like,
You won't get
I've done
bamboozled.
every work, every job, every position in this work, so that you can't lie to me and tell me that shit takes 2 hours to do.
Exactly,
Yeah.
When I know it's a 45-minute job.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
And then you get it. Then you get to a point where you can start delegating those things because if you're none the wiser, someone could bamboozle you. It'd be like, oh, I know how to edit this, I know how to do that, and you're like, cool, I need someone to do that. And then whenever they give you, may take them longer than it should, but you don't know any better. And you're like, what the hell is this? This is dog shit. And you still have to pay them because they did a job.
Yeah, it took you this long to do
You're
this.
paying them
Yeah.
for the service.
And then
Exactly.
the worst part of it all is like, say it's like I was talking about this at work with a guy that'll
Paying
paint
for
your,
labor.
He'll paint your fender, make it match your car pretty good. He'll do it for $150, whereas the shop might charge you $500.
You
But the
shop
thing
around.
is that you go with a $150 dude and he does it, and he gets it back to you, and you're like, oh, it's not quite perfect though.
Right.
And
But you get your money's worth.
and he goes, well, you only gave me $150, and then you can be like, but you told me you were gonna hook me up. And he's like, that is the hookup.
Yeah.
And it's like,
He's not going
Oh,
to take as much
again, you get your money's
pride.
worth,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're getting your money's worth. And
and you once you go through and you do all these little positions in your own job, in your own business, whatever, then you know what they're worth, and then you know what you're willing to pay for them,
yeah, that too.
and how to be selective about who you're going to give that business to.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, I've never released an album of my own music, and I'm 32 years old right now. I don't have any music on my anywhere, not even on my SoundCloud anywhere. Why? Because I keep putting stuff up for a little bit and then taking it down, not really promoting
But
it.
is that because you're too hard on yourself, or like you feel like this isn't worth putting out there?
No, I think I allow myself to be like that hypocrite that says, "Oh man, this thing's going out there. That's it." And then like a week later, I can just be like, "No, this is not quite ready yet."
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I want to be able to have that control over my own artistry or whatever whenever I want.
I've had that struggle recently where I actually took a break from posting
I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, this isn't gonna hit. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. This is how I was feeling. It was like I was too focused on if it was gonna hit instead of actually doing my due diligence of putting shit out.
Right.
And being more focused on audience response kind of like dug me into a hole
That'll hinder
of
you.
insecurity where I was like, I got to the point where I was like, why am I even doing this?
Is it for me or is it for the audience?
Exactly.
Yeah, and that can hinder you.
I'm hard on myself, so I won't leave it out there because I'm like, I don't like that. Whereas like part of being that like creator is putting it out there and being like, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still, like I said, I still allow myself to be that like hypocrite, be like, that's what it is, but not anymore.
See,
It was. It's not there. It's not it anymore.
Now,
you know?
the most I'll do is I'll like edit a post that I already have up there. But I feel like if it's already up there, then fuck it. I feel that like it would be more important for if I have steady viewers to see my growth and how I've progressed instead of like me being perfect all the time.
Right.
And that's something that I've actually been struggling with. Like, am I the God that I say I am, or am I human like everyone else?
You're human like everyone else. I think.
I have this persona though.
Yeah, but your job as a creator is to create, not to judge. So you just leave it out there.
But I am
mean,
my
you could
own
be-
worst enemy.
Right, but
I will always say my shit is not as good. Like,
That's-
and that's
but-
then that is what hindered me from posting for a very long time.
to me that's the ego. That's the yourself looking at you as a god. Like you're expecting it to be perfect all the time. You expect, but
Because I want to win.
yeah, but
Wanna
but that
win.
shit, like, it's funny that you're gonna go through these moods where you release something. Like Omar said, I released it, and then a week later, I was like, yeah, you know what? It's not good enough. But I think, like, the theme of this whole thing, everything's cyclical. I think if you left it there and you come back a year, 2 years later, and you revisit it, you see it for what it was at that moment in time, and you're like, oh, that's actually kind of dope. It's not that
Right.
bad. It's kind of dope. And you just leave it there, and it is what it is.
Can I ask you guys something like wholeheartedly?
No, you can't.
Okay. Can I ask you something
Go
wholeheartedly?
ahead.
I was reading this book that Brian recommended to me, which is called The War of Art.
Oh, horrible book.
And
Love it. I love it.
there's a part of it that
War o' fart.
the War of Art. And there's a part of it that it kind of encourages you to reread your old shit or go back to your old shit to hype yourself up. And
You never see the hype. You're like, this is dog shit.
there was a part of me that made me question it. Like, am I doing this because I think I'm good, or am I going off audience response, or like why do I have to go?
You're doing it because you think you're good.
So is that a good flame to keep
Stoke?
going? Like,
That's-
yeah.
Well,
It-
yes and no. You can still remain humble, but it's important enough to have belief in yourself. If you're not going to believe in yourself, how are others supposed to believe in yourself?
Right.
So you have to believe enough that you're like, yes, I am good. I have something to say. Look what we're doing right now. What the fuck is this? Why is
Right.
this important? Who's gonna listen to this? Who knows? Who cares? What, like, we thought it was cool enough and important enough, and maybe we don't get anybody to listen to. Maybe we just go back 2 years from now and we listen to it and
To
we're
be
like,
honest,
this is kind of funny.
That's most of the reason why I have so much drive to do this is because I had this encounter with my dad when he got shingles for the first time.
Sorry,
And-
I don't mean to laugh.
And
It's just
I saw him
we
in
know
the
someone has
hospital
shingles.
bed, and he looked fucked up. He looked like he beat himself up,
shingles fucks you up when you're old.
and he was just talking about what life was like before shingles. And I was like, it would be cool to have a document of it. So this is like,
Yeah.
this is like, oh, like I can catalog and categorize a certain topic and conversation to go back on and kind of like play the memory game.
Dude, this whole
I don't know if you guys ever did this in like elementary school. Was like where you
Time
guys,
capsule?
Time capsules.
Yeah.
Exactly.
dude, everything that we're doing right now, especially with phones and the cloud, is a time capsule. Like, if that shit were to be found thousands of years from now and humans are no longer here, you have a whole, like, at least for a moment in time, a fucking documented.
Some
piece of
motherfucking
history.
archaeologist might look at this and be like, "Whoa, this was a council of
Yeah.
North Park."
But
And
I'm
they
not
were discussing.
But I mean, on a
the-
grand scale, because it's all of humans that are not all of humanity is like linked to the cloud. But there's billions of people that are documenting every day, whether just little videos on their phone, TikToks, Instagram stories, Snapchats, whatever. They're doing their own podcasts. Like there's a huge chunk of documented history. A lot of it just mundane nonsense. But it's still there. It's documented. That's life before shingles.
We're in the era of 15-second attention span.
Less than that.
Less than that.
Less than that.
The
but yeah.
TikTok era of, I mean,
Yeah,
for me it was
Vine-
Vine that
Vine,
hit it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Vine was even less. Vine was like 7 seconds.
Yeah. So you guys that create songs that are roughly 3-4 fucking minutes long.
Yeah.
Do you find yourselves creating content to make listeners want to keep listening?
No. Mine's purely selfish.
That's what I want to get into.
Mine is purely selfish.
Because again, the attention span is 15 seconds long.
Mm-hmm.
Are you chasing the audience that is in it? Okay, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase this. why do you do the things that you do? Like you said.
Because I hear things in my head, and I also like to challenge myself. So
Who cares if they listen past 15 seconds? You're just doing it.
right. I would just, the only thing I would like to continue doing is, I'd like to continue doing that because it is something that makes me happy. If I don't get in my own way, if I don't judge too much, if, like I said, my job is to create, not to judge. If I stick with that and I don't, it's hard not to judge, but if I stick with that, that makes me really, really happy. Now, there's the very reality of the fact that it may not be lucrative. So I do need people to at least enjoy it to an extent where it makes me money.
So you guys.
Does that make sense?
So
Yeah.
I don't know if you come from a music family. I don't know if you come from a music family.
No,
Not at all. No.
I come from a music
Not at all.
family where music was forced on me.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got older, they were like they knew the realities, and they were like, think ahead. Like, we want music there, but like music producer, music director, music, like they did it, like musician was never the focus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it's
Because of what's lucrative. It's like you want
Even
something that
a
you can
producer
fall
these
back
days
on.
isn't lucrative.
you want to. I mean, that's the idea of music as a lifestyle.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's
the
what
artist
they try
lifestyle.
to impose on me, man.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's funny because like you asked me, do I do it for other people or not? And it's like, no, it's purely a selfish thing. And I think
So now
that,
do you
but
see our differences in our upbringing almost?
no, because
Musically?
musically, but I'm referring to as an artistry. But this extends to almost any trade, unless you're choosing a trade like doctor or something that is geared towards helping others. Like if you were to ask your dad like why he joined the military or something, most people that join the military is purely circumstantial, and they're like
My dad was to get out of the hood.
and it's a selfish reason.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I
Exactly.
really want to like
No,
rep
that's-
Mexico or something. You know,
no, it's
like
to get out. Eventually, because of the brainwashing, it became like.
eventually it
because of
becomes
country.
that, and then eventually
But the initial drive was
the
like, I
initial
need to get out of
drive.
here.
And the thing is, you also develop relationships. For example, he ends up having a family. Now it becomes about you guys. It isn't alone. It isn't any longer a selfish pursuit. However, as a single man, I don't have any of that shit. So still, right now, it's purely selfish.
Will
Does that
it
make sense?
Will it ever
Yeah.
become?
Yeah. Will it ever? I don't know. I mean, life has a funny way of
working.
throwing things at you, where it may eventually. I
Or
may
may
not.
not.
It may need to extend beyond that. But right now, my line of sight is I just want to make things that I find good, that I like how it sounds, and just continue doing that.
And the
shit.
reason why I bring this up is from our previous conversation. We went to Guitar Center. The movie Soul
Yeah.
touches all this shit.
Oh, I mean, I'll watch it. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it. I'll watch it.
It was a good.
Oh,
good
you
you
saw
saw
it? Yeah, it's cheesy as fuck, but
Yeah.
it again,
Disney.
what I was telling Brian is that like it'll entertain kids in a certain way, and then it'll entertain adults in a very different way.
It poses a cool question for an adult musician, but it's also, I think, inferior
Good choice.
to Coco, because I thought Coco was a better.
Also,
musician
never
story.
saw Coco.
Good musician story.
Dude, when I went to Morelia and I heard
that's
the
their shit.
Coco story,
Their
Yeah.
Coco story.
Bomb.
It says 96.
you saw my story on Instagram, right?
Yeah.
About how the old lady, they didn't give her shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucked, but it's also like at least I like that they based it on
97.
something real.
So this is 1% better than Soul.
There you go. And I'm telling you, it actually, I do believe that it
you
was
back
a
it.
better,
You back it.
yeah, a better musician story, because it kind of tells a truer tale. I mean, they both tell a very true tale about the musician's condition, but like,
But is one telling it from
if
a
I'm
black
being
perspective?
real-
Because the Coco's obviously a Mexican.
yeah,
If-
but
if
it's,
I'm-
but the story of the premise behind them,
Michoacán, dude.
yeah,
Like,
and
that's
the
it's
premise
that
behind it is
lifestyle.
like, don't be a musician.
Which movie?
Coco.
Okay.
Coco.
Don't be a musician.
Uh-huh.
Because it's not
Grandfather was a
lucrative.
musician,
Right.
and he, and whatever, he was a deadbeat or whatever. And then
Yeah.
there's all the musicians.
Era
and this-
mujeriego.
Yeah, and whatever.
yeah,
So that was the story of that one. The kid became a
Became
musician.
Yeah.
because of you found love in music.
Yeah. And
Right.
the movie Soul is a guy that's been a musician his whole life who
Ex-
doesn't really have much. And even his mother in his old age is like, well, you got to take that job. And he's like, I don't want that job. I want the gig.
Yeah.
Gets the chance to get the gig.
Blows it or
He
what?
dies.
Dies.
Oh,
dude.
well, I mean, spoiler alert. I mean,
No. It's not a spoiler. That's the
Okay.
beginning of the story.
Oh, okay.
So my reaction to Soul, I didn't cry. My reaction to Coco, I cried.
I hear
Bro,
everybody
that's
cries
a
for Coco.
different sentiment, though.
Yeah, what happened with Soul is I laughed because it was so ironic and so true
Right.
that like that moment you get that chance and then just like take it away from you. And I was like, I was watching
'Cause
it
you've
in
been
bed. I was
there.
like, oh,
We're there right now with COVID.
yeah, exactly. It was just taken away from you.
Yeah.
Whereas Coco is like the yearning, the want to be a musician, which is cool because both of those movies I really enjoyed and they're about musicians, so it was pretty cool.
So like me, because again, I'm newer into the performing arts, like because I mean, Brian said that I participate in performing arts through martial arts, but I still find a hard way to tie them together. But going on stage,
Performance.
It's a performance.
I remember those feelings of the more popular guy taking your line on the open mic,
Mm-hmm.
and almost, for lack of a better word, envy of like, I got here first, then what the fuck? Like, it should be me up there, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But you guys in jam sessions, was
Mhm.
there ever a place or a situation that was like, no, like I guess you guys felt entitled to go up there before someone else?
No.
Yes.
I want to hear both.
Who do you want to go first? I don't care.
Go
Then
first.
no.
No, because I think very little of my musicianship. So I'm not cocky about my musicianship at all. So if someone's getting to go up there, also I have like really bad anxiety, performance anxiety. So it's almost a relief. Once it starts, I'm usually like, okay, especially like one song in, I'll settle in. But before, it's almost a relief. If someone's like, hey, I'm going to call this person up instead, I'm like, cool, awesome. I
Take
don't-
one more beer. Drink another beer.
yeah,
try
drink
to
another
get that
beer,
seed.
just chill out. I'm cool with
For
that.
me, it's like, I've been waiting.
Just the kill.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I wasn't coming at it from that angle. For me, it was more, I'm a ceremony and ritual kind of guy,
Mhm.
and there is a protocol, and whether or not you are the popular guy in town or whatever, if there's somebody there that's senior to you, and there is something going on stage,
Respecting a hierarchy.
you kind of have to let that thing slide. And for me, I've seen it as myself as passing up the space to let somebody go in, and also to be like, oh, hold on, kid, let me do this. Let me show you. And so there's been a little bit of both in my life, and I think that it's okay because I learned to respect my elders. And in music, there's an age and there's a system of elders. There's some really great young musicians that still have to pay their dues.
Mhm.
It's just, like I remember moving here and going to the jam sessions, and I couldn't get on stage. And when I would get on stage and they're like, oh, you play electric? All right. Does anybody have an electric? Oh, you're going to plug into my amp? Okay.
Yeah, that's always so awkward.
And it was so
Using someone else's equipment.
oh, dude, it was very not tense, but just kind of like
Uncomfortable.
I had dreadlocks and tattoos, and I'd go to this jam session, and they'd be like, "What do you want to play?" Oh, okay, let's try that. I could never fit in there, and then I would go to a different jam session, and they'd be like, "Oh, okay, you know how to play this stuff," or like, "Oh man, you're playing this wrong," or whatever. And there was always that kind of tension where I knew to be like, "You're right." My good friend goes like this, like, "You want to put the cuffs on me?" Like, I give myself up. I surrender because I learned to do that first, and because of that, it kind of taught me the whole art form or the whole ceremony from the beginning to what is now like the full value of the production. Now, whenever I'm there, I know that ceremony, so I can just go right to the top. I don't have to start at the bottom anymore.
Right.
Doesn't matter where I am in the world. But I understand that whenever there's a youngster that comes in, it's my choice to be like,
Come on,
come on in, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, that was nice, man. That was good. Or if they're messing up, I just be like,
So in my situations where, for example, I got bumped to let someone else on, would it be on that person to know their ground of like, I'm gonna go kill, or am I gonna give this guy his chance?
They have control of the bump, or that someone bumped?
No, I
for
don't know.
that
I'm
person?
just no. Like, say like, cause there. Okay, so there are certain situations when I went to a place, and the popular guy was like, "Hey, like, I have something planned."
I
And they're
gotta
like,
go.
"Yeah,
Yeah.
like, can you just throw me in like as a homie, you know?" And like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and again,
And you get bumped.
and I get bumped. Yeah,
Yeah, you have to let it happen. It
Yeah.
sucks.
What are you gonna do?
It
You're
sucked,
gonna make
yeah.
a scene?
It sucks.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, am I gonna lose my spot because I made a scene? Yeah,
Yeah.
but
No, but like say it was your regular spot now.
I've
yeah.
been bumped.
Yeah,
I've been
say
bumped.
it's your regular spot, and somebody who isn't the popular guy comes in and is like, "Oh, I need to take your spot." It's like,
Okay, that's different. Yeah.
no, man,
Because
can't.
See, I'm different
when it comes to the
because
jam
if
sessions,
they suck, then it's like I'm gonna watch this burn.
No,
But if they're good, I'm just like, cool. You served the song. You deserve to be up there.
no, it's like, hey, dude, I don't care what's going on in your life because you don't care what's going on in my life. So
you clearly just want to go on stage, so let me.
yeah, it's hot. Everybody's laughing. Everybody's fucking enjoying themselves right now. And you want to get on stage? Ponle,
Yeah.
get out of here. And that's just what happens sometimes. And sometimes they're on stage and it's popping and they're blowing it to the point where you go,
Let me clear it up.
give me that mic.
Yeah.
Give me that bass. Give me those sticks. Whatever. Get off the keyboard. Whatever. It happens.
Yeah.
It's happened to me where they're like, oh, it's popping. They're like, hey, let's do this song. And I'm like, I don't know that one. They're like, hey, give me the bass. Step off. Sometimes you just stay right there on stage and you're just like, you may feel kind of stupid, but it's not about you. It's about the moment with everybody else.
Yeah.
It's.
You're still bummed.
I've seen
you
that
got
shit
bumped.
happen
I-
on
I-
big
honestly,
stages.
I'm more bummed recently because we're in Corona and I can't have that experience anymore. I can have the good ones over the bad ones.
Yeah, you even wish you could have the bad ones.
Yeah. So I don't want to say I'm the guy of 1,000 excuses, but
No, you're not that guy. We know that guy. That's
Another reason why I kind of like held back of like I never stopped writing, but I stopped posting
yeah.
is because
Is this
I
good
missed-
enough?
I'm no, it's not just that.
I need to take
It,
a leak.
it kind of ties into
I
that.
need to take a leak. I'll hear you.
Yeah, where it's like going on stage made me want to write more because it's like, what am I gonna hit them with next? Yeah. And when that went away, and I tried the online ones, the Instagram live ones, and it's just not the same because first of all, in the Instagram live ones, you don't see audience reaction.
Mm-mm.
They can only send so many emojis. They can only put so many hearts.
Yeah.
It's not the same
It's not.
because you don't know if it's genuine, if it's hate, if it's because I've done a gig where I've had people stand up and leave because they didn't like the material I was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because politically or whatever.
Yeah.
But you know, like, so I know, like, okay, I basically what I'm trying to say is that on Instagram Live, you can't read the crowd.
Yeah, and because your art form is very
Crowd-based.
performance
Yeah.
based. Yeah. Well, there's different types of performance. There's like presentational and there's participational. And I think you're more into the participational type where somebody laughs and you get a response or somebody
Yeah.
it's like, ooh, or, this, you know? And there is other ways of performing, maybe doing the same material even, but in a different setting where people are just
They have to listen.
sitting and listening and you're not used to that. It's the same way with music, you know? There is those different types of scenarios where, yeah, man, I've been like in front of 150,000 people, the largest crowd I've ever been in front of my whole life. And we just finished playing Three Little Birds and nobody claps. Because we're in a country where that song has never even been
Doesn't
heard
mean
before.
anything.
It doesn't mean anything to them.
Yeah.
So it's a different reaction, though. Maybe
Yeah,
the
like I'm not saying
silence
that,
is like a,
I'm not saying that nobody clapped. I'm just saying it wasn't like a
It wasn't as
huge
receptive.
response
Yeah.
like you're used to. But then you play a different song and maybe it's like really
it's,
big.
It's like when Ray Charles played Georgia on My Mind and they turned the lights down. And it wasn't because they were expecting a large...
And he couldn't tell if the lights were on.
It's like my first time. Okay, when I went to Taiwan, the first performance we did, we had this
Dude, those videos are dope. Those
Like,
videos
Those
are
videos are
dope.
fucking
Yeah.
dope.
We
dude.
rehearsed. We had such a good set. It was like a roller coaster. There was
Yeah.
smooth romantic parts. There was some banging heaters. And after every song, doesn't matter what song it was like
Well, that's the culture there, though.
culturally it was different. So the participation side of it, and me, my first reaction was to be like, oh, we're not getting them. Nobody's standing up. Nobody's dancing.
Right.
What's going on?
But that's because you're basing it on other crowds.
Yeah,
Because
it
it
was
was
the
a
cultural
different crowd. Yeah. And so their response to it, they were like respectful and they were like, this is different.
They're doing their job.
They were doing their job, their participation.
Exactly.
And then
how they know to participate.
Yeah, but that also goes back to the people that have walked out on you. It's not for them. And they're doing their job.
Yeah.
It's not for them.
But as a performer, you're like, where did I fuck up?
Yeah.
I fucked. For me, I drill myself on like I fucked up on not reading the crowd.
No, because the thing is, as soon as you start catering to the crowd, then you're sacrificing more than you should.
So check this out. We had this conversation at my place after jiu-jitsu where I was telling Brian that in the heat of it, I was going to 3 open mics in one night. I was hitting one, then
like a
driving
comic.
to the other one, and then hitting the other one.
Yeah.
And I would try to do a different
We've
spot.
hit multiple jams.
That's how it used to be.
yeah.
Thursday night used to be
I
jams.
try
Yeah.
to hit a different line or a different piece for every spot, just in case there was other people like me, so I didn't seem repetitive.
Right.
But one night I was like, I did a piece that killed at La Bodega in across from Border X when it was there. It's not there no more.
Right.
It murdered there. And I felt cocky as fuck. So I was like, let me go to this place on East Village.
Yeah, you're
Use
riding
the same
high.
one.
And use the same. I was riding the high. And then I saw a completely different
Crickets.
reaction. Not crickets, more like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, it wasn't the vibe.
Like, people literally got up and left. And I was just like, and I was like, fuck, I kept riding.
Imagine you're sitting there, you're just like, what is this? guy
Dude,
fucking
I
saying?
finished it.
You
I
doubled
finished it. I
down.
got off stage. And when I got off stage, there was less people in the audience than when I got
Hell
up,
yeah, dude. You
Oh, yeah.
bombed. You're a comic.
Yeah, it's
You're a
bomb.
comic. You got to double down on those. Have you heard the stories where like Bill Hicks has bombed? Like Bill Hicks used to bomb.
I haven't heard those.
Yeah, he just goes hard.
Bro, he goes even harder, and like I guess there's been a couple times like when he drops the bomb and he sees like everything,
Bill
he's
Burr in
like,
Philadelphia.
no, because Bill Burr
He went on-
like
he
he
went
goes
at him,
off
yeah.
and like heckles these people. Bill Hicks is like, yeah, this is usually around the time I clear the room, and he just doubles down. Like he acknowledges the fact that he's bombing, but embraces that moment.
yeah.
because it's inevitable. You're gonna bomb.
If it's what you do and somebody doesn't like it, you have to accept that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because what
accept
you
it.
do is pretty niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty niche.
And I hate the crowd that goes to it because there's pretentious fucks, dude. I fucking hate them so much, dude.
Dude, I can't. I
If-
can never forget the
He's like, "I hate
video.
my fans."
The video that I don't know if it was Diego or Brian sent of some
one
girl
chick?
going hard on a lollipop when
Yeah.
you're telling this really dirty poem, and I'm just
Yeah.
thought, this is like that's your demographic right there.
That's your demo, dude.
like
Great.
I was like, wow,
So-
this motherfucker's killing it.
Yeah.
So check this out. For a very long time, when I was when I was experiencing extreme imposter syndrome, there was a veteran like poet that was at one of the venues in East Village, and he pulled me outside. He goes, "Hey man, let's go outside and smoke a bowl." He didn't share anything. He just wanted to smoke a bowl and wanted me to stand with him, basically.
Okay.
Asshole.
Yeah. And I told him, I was like, hey man, like I was basically going through my whole imposter syndrome thing. Like, like you guys have been doing this for years. Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel good on blah, blah, blah. And I said, I write other shit that's not dirty, And he goes, but you fucked up already. You already sold yourself as this character.
Yeah, you already put that out there.
I mean,
And at that point, I started questioning, like, will I ever break away from this character?
Yeah.
Is this me forever?
Yeah, just do it.
yeah, you dropped the dirty poet aspect. Like you
I did. I owned it for a very long time.
Right, but you-
when I started writing shit that wasn't,
Yeah, because you for a long time you were also saying I'm a dirty poet. As
I
soon as
was
you put,
owning it. Yeah.
yeah, as soon as you do that, everybody's gonna expect a certain thing. But if you just say
My first headline, that's how they headlined me as.
right, But yeah, nah, you could drop that. You could completely change your tune if you want.
You could do both,
Bro,
dude.
we
you can
played-
go back to it whenever you want to.
I brought this up last week when we were hanging out. Do you remember the band Portugal the Man?
Yeah.
They did not start. They did not start.
It wasn't that.
It wasn't that.
So I recently posted some new stuff that's been different from what I've posted before.
Hate it.
And thank you. And what I wanted to say is like, as you guys as creators creating new content that's somewhat, I don't know if it's catered to no, you guys say it's selfish.
I'm super moody.
Yeah.
I say it's selfish.
Do you ever find yourself in that situation where you're saying, I'm going back to my roots?
No, because I don't even know what my roots are.
Like I'm playing what's comfortable. I'm doing what I know.
Yeah, you do. I do a lot. Like play what you know.
I think you should always play
what you know. But sometimes
But
people
when you want to experiment.
The thing is, you could still do that.
you don't want to experiment all the time.
Yeah.
Like just like in the kitchen, you're not gonna go and be like, I'm gonna make a sandwich and then go put fucking ice cream in your sandwich.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
But ice cream sandwiches are good.
Yeah.
but it's okay.
I gotta go, dude.
Yeah, dude, do it. Well, you asked the question,
You
so
asked
I'm
the question.
talking about something else.
Do you
now.
want him to keep talking? We could just shoot the shit about this because I think there's nothing wrong with playing what you know.
No, I like it.
I don't ever think of like, oh, I'm going back to my roots because like I said, I don't know what my roots are.
Right.
I'm super fucking moody. I play whatever it is that I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what I like to play right now. And I kind of let, if I'm recording something, I kind of let that thing just kind of guide me. Like I'm not specifically setting out to be like, oh, I'm going to write a country song or something. I'm not gonna, like whatever chord progression, whatever drum beats in my head, whatever comes first, that kind of dictates things.
Right.
And then sometimes it becomes something completely different.
That's producing.
Yeah. I'll think it's gonna be something because I'm like, oh, this is the wave I'm riding. And then all of a sudden I'll implement something else that just completely changes the direction. You're like, oh, this became something completely different, but that's cool too.
Yeah, I feel like there is kind of a fine line between like composition and production.
Yeah.
Production can alter composition,
100%. Composition is like, yeah, I'm going to write something and it's going to be that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it happens to me all the time too. Like where I start with something and then I'm like, ooh, what if I put this on it? And of course, I have a million sketches and I have zero finished composition.
Dude, I have so many fucking sketches that are like a folder just, I've only have finished a handful.
My thing right now is going back to just like doing it for fun and not caring so much about overanalyzing my own stuff. Like,
dude, that hinders you.
It doesn't mean that I'm gonna just like start releasing it, but like if you see my social media, it's just like I'm just playing.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't care if this part came out ugly or whatever. I'm just going to put something out because I felt it.
Yeah.
I know guys that are like, oh, man, everything you do should be going through like a preamp. It should sound amazing. It should be polished.
Something out
That's kind of what I've been
doing.
doing.
Like you have to put something out on a regular basis.
No, for me, it's a mood. It's like social media, like me talking to my phone. It's the same thing with me playing to my phone.
So when I first started my blog, I kind of promised the audience I didn't have that I'd post every Monday and Friday.
But you were doing that.
And I was doing that, but then life hit.
Yep.
But then life hit.
As it does.
And then I eventually even publicized the post saying like I'm only posting when I fucking feel like it.
Right.
So that's
doing
happened
haikus.
to a lot of people that I know, especially in this quarantine, where they find that they have a lot of time on their hands, and they're like, all right, I'm gonna post on Twitch every day or every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever it is. Eventually, they're like, you know what? Like, I don't want to post today, or it's just
the poetry.
It'll
the
take
Instagram
weeks off.
Live poetry thing that I was doing, stopped doing it because the person that was running it was like, I want to go outside, dude. Like,
yeah, they fell off,
bro. And that's the thing too. Is like when you start getting active on whatever it is through Twitch or producing something like that. I told Diego that I was like, dude, I didn't leave like this station for like 5 days straight.
So
like I didn't go outside at all.
One of the topics that the
I was
movie
like, this is
Soul
bad. This is unhealthy.
is being in the zone and being a lost soul.
You really
Spoiling it for you.
Yeah, you're really talking about this movie. I feel like I shouldn't watch
I just
it.
saw it last night. That's why.
Yeah.
And
By the way, you also derailed your question towards him.
yeah, well, you guys we're talking about other things when I came out.
Well, yeah.
I thought you guys
wasn't
forgot
gonna be
about
dead. It wasn't gonna be dead air.
Okay, well let's go back to it.
So what was the question? I forgot already.
You're asking the wrong person. I just took a piss and thought about that long piss I took. Isn't it so relieving, like as a guy?
It is. Pissing is good.
So my
but my dogs
question-
enjoy that shit too.
Yeah.
My question, I think, going back to it, if I can recollect, is touching back your roots, going back to your roots.
Yeah, going back to your roots.
Oh, playing what you know, like
Playing what you know. So, like, when you do that, do you feel like it's a crutch? It's like this has been like before, like it's hit before, it's gonna hit again.
no, because I think that Willie Nelson still plays old Willie Nelson songs.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that artists are entitled to be able to play their classics as much as they want. It's your fucking classic.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Do it. Somebody doesn't like it, they don't have to listen. I bet you.
I
I bet you probably
wish
have
I
a
had
hard
that
time.
arrogance.
I bet you have a hard time rereading poems that you already read before.
Yes, but on stage. But to hype myself up, I'll reread poems that I knew hit.
You should do
And-
it.
Dude, you're literally like any other performer. I come back to it being like a comic just because like, I mean when we watch comedians, that's not the first time they're saying that.
Oh yeah,
joke.
like how
It's the
when
same
we
thing.
saw at the comedy store.
But the thing is,
and
I
then on Netflix.
I think you do have to do that and repeat those things because there could be a little cadence in the way you're delivering it that could change the way it's hitting that night.
I do it
or
mostly to psych myself up in a very selfish way, egotistical way, where
Yeah.
it's like fuck it, like I got this, like like
Yeah.
I've done it before, I can do it again,
Of course.
Yeah,
That's
you
what I'm
should.
saying. I encourage you to
think you
reread
should,
your
yeah.
first poem. Like next time you do like a Instagram one,
Mhm.
read your first poem you did.
Now, that has been an issue for me because I headlined an Instagram live, two of them,
Mhm.
and I did clearly new shit. And at the end, I was like, I want to do one of the old ones that I knew hit, just so I could seal it off for me, like for me. I didn't do it because
Pussy.
yeah, because I was like, no, like I wanna like show them that I have new shit. Like they don't like, for some reason, I didn't believe in the greatest hits.
Oliver's greatest hits.
All
dude.
those
Yeah,
greatest
dude, like
hits.
I didn't.
You're
believe
so
in the
new at it.
greatest
Fuck
hits.
your greatest hits, dude.
Like
You're new at the
It-
performing aspect. not
that's
the
why,
writing, not the-
because for me, it's still pleasing the consumer, wanting them to come back.
I told this to I won't name the person, but in a certain
You've been bleeping people out this
people.
entire podcast.
Yeah, no. Anytime I'm on, you're gonna have to bleep names and shit. But basically, what happens is certain band leaders and certain types of music start chasing the dancers. If people are dancing, they think that they're doing good,
right.
and whenever people walk off the dance floor, they're like, "Oh shit, let's stop this one and play another one, a faster
So
one."
it's people that don't know shit about music.
It's-
They're just drunk and
Well,
want to have a
on
good
top
time.
of that, like
yeah, that's a factor.
on
too.
top of that, it's like a club coming to me and telling me like, "Hey man, let's not do that anymore because people aren't dancing to that stuff." Now, it happened to us at Sick One,
Yeah,
but that was
happened
for a
the other
very
day.
different reason. That was because of COVID.
Right.
But basically, them being like, "We don't like this stuff as much as we like this stuff. So can you guys do more of this?" And at one point, you say, "Okay, you're my boss. So if I want this
You're paying.
gig,
You say jump,
then
I
I'll-
say how high.
then I'll do that." But it's also my choice to be like, fuck you, dude. Like,
Yeah.
I'm going to play what I like to play. If I'm enjoying myself, if we're playing this really nice, people
You
are
hired
going,
me.
yeah, people are
Yep.
going to enjoy this.
That's the artist. in
if
him.
if we are sitting here chasing these dancers all night, the dancers show up, don't pay cover, drink waters, don't fucking buy booze. They fucking sit down when a song is not the tempo that they want it to be. I'm sorry, I play dancers' music, but I don't chase them around.
Right.
Go
They
take a
dance
seat,
to
dude.
my beats.
Yeah, go sit down. Go sit down, and when you like what I'm playing, get up and dance. And if
Yeah.
you don't like anything, that's not my fucking problem.
Now, we have a colleague that every time we talk about his performances, he to me at least, I don't know how he addresses it to you guys. Maybe because I'm not in the same world as you guys. He always says the people are up and moving, and I try to recreate that every single time.
Okay.
So
You should be a dance instructor.
Yeah.
it's like at this point, like, are you doing the show because you want to put out your craft, or are you doing it because you want the audience reaction?
Like me in planning, I've had a few bands, a few projects that I kind of spearheaded and stuff. But now when I'm thinking about like my own project, I don't even think about that. I actually am thinking about my show in terms of like
But when you're spearheading a project for someone else, are
That-
you
that's
trying to make it to
If they
their
s-
standards
if
or
they
to
say,
yours?
okay, say-
because they hired you for your
Right.
your knowledge and ability at this.
So then if they say, okay, you're playing 4 hours of dance music, I say, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah,
You better have a
that's
lot of traffic.
ridiculous, yeah.
Your business and your dance floor better have new people coming in. We're talking 4 hours, we're talking about 1,000 people.
And if they're dancing the entire time, they're not buying drinks. So that
And if exactly
that
they're on the
shit's gonna
dance
tank.
floor
He
the whole
goes
time.
back to the show at the rabbit hole and how habit hole. We have to bleep that out. And
have to
how
bleep that
that
out.
first experience was so. It was the first high.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Now. Okay, I know
the
what
first
you're talking
high, and that's what he's chasing. It's the first high.
about. Yes, he had a moment
Yeah.
that he was like, we got 'em.
exactly. Yes,
I know those
Yeah.
guys
so-
that turn around in the bandstand and we're like, we got
So,
him now.
so
Yeah.
to me, that's
oh,
what.
and he's that.
So to me, that's what he constantly paints the image of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But he has that pornographic memory, you know what I'm saying? Like where he remembers things very vividly.
Yeah.
yes. So that's what I'm trying to get at. You.
I didn't
being
notice
hired-
that.
Again, because he may say different things that he does to me because again I'm not.
Well, yeah,
in
because
that
it's
world.
but it's his perspective. Like
No, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm saying I didn't notice it.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is like since he hired you to do a certain position and conduct certain things,
that's also why he didn't notice it.
are you doing it to please his?
So then now in that perspective,
Mm-hmm.
for that certain presentation, that group, then I am going
Part of.
with taking that into consideration, saying, okay, the music that we play has to do this, has to achieve dancers all
so
day.
it's more your standards than his.
It's more about being like, okay, if we're going to play this music for that purpose, then we're going to do it for that purpose. Now, if that certain group is a dance party band, so that's the whole point of that. So then all this music that we choose for that band has to serve that purpose. Now, to make that work, to make people dance for an hour long, you have to give them physical breaks.
Yeah.
And like auditory breaks too. You can't blow their ears out, and you can't have them fucking high stepping for an hour straight because somebody's gonna have a heart attack. And so you have to like design the music that way. Not even just set the song list, but also the energy. When you're playing a certain song, maybe the song's killing and fast or whatever, and people are dancing, but you see that your crowd's thinning out a little bit, then it's like, okay,
Just tone it down.
let's tone it down. Keep the intensity. Just tone it down. All right, let's bring the volume down. Okay, let's do here a solo. Let's do this. Like those are very simple ways of reading a crowd. And I think one of the best crowd readers in his heyday, and I'm not saying he's not anymore, but whenever I was on tour with the B-side players, Carlos never had a set list and always read the fuck out of the crowd. And he was just calling songs and starting off songs, and the crowd was just like, and rocking the crowd. He didn't have the same set list every night and have this one moment where everybody put your hands up. There was
Yeah.
not that
And
catered,
you've had this
curated
playing with him
experience.
as well.
Yeah.
To where do you have that same reaction that he's talking about?
It's different.
What
now.
reaction?
Where he could read the crowd.
Yeah, exactly. Do you have that same feeling that like he knew his shit? That like he didn't need a set list. He went off puro feeling. It's puro feeling.
Well, the
cabrón.
most recent gig that it's because of COVID. It's
Kinda
not
doesn't
really
count,
Yeah,
yeah,
it doesn't really
yeah.
count.
And
But
we're not playing his music anymore.
that's true. We didn't play originals. But yeah, when I hit the road with him, yeah, it was like that. And I like those leaders too.
Those that know how to lead.
I actually kind of think I'm good at choosing songs and reading the crowd that way too, because there's been plenty of times where I wasn't the leader of the group, but the person who was leading it sucked at that. and was
took over?
and I would take over, and I was okay, and they were okay with me doing that.
Right.
And then the crowd was like, yeah, like, and then sometimes
But
for us,
you're the type of person that will take initiative to make the boat not sink.
yeah, I don't like to immediately.
You don't
take
like
command,
to do it,
but I'll do
you'll
it if I
fucking do it.
Yeah, I'll do it if I
Mm-hmm.
like. Oh, this is like going bad. But also what Omar was saying in terms of like, oh, you know, we can't be like this on a upward trajectory the whole time, or else, like you said, people are going to keel over. They're going to have a heart attack or whatever. But also for us too, we are also human. If we're fucking playing burners for an hour straight, it's like, hey man, like we need a little bit of a break too.
That's why Dave Chappelle's like a master of time and space, right?
Dude, his timing
It's beautiful.
is fucking surgical, dude. Surgical. So in my craft, one-liners are pretty common because you like in that MF Doom little sample the interview that he was doing that they sampled it from, he talks about in writing how like you want to fuck with the audience expectations. You carry a rhyme so much that that they're expecting a certain word to follow, but then you
cadence.
just throw something completely fucking
Right.
different to throw them off.
Right.
Especially when it's going really good.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're going down a road, and then all of a sudden we're like, nope, we're gonna go this way,
Exactly.
and then we're gonna go that
It's
way.
when you fuck
Like
with
a wide
people's
receiver.
expectations that it makes it palatable, or at least more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, that's whenever you have your control over them.
Exactly.
Because see, if you're like,
Yeah.
If it's
Going
too
all
much,
over
yeah.
the place, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
like there's no way or say with this.
You got to stay on the path for a little
But
bit.
that's why he's the fucking supervillain, dude. Like,
Oliver loves Doom.
dude.
yeah.
R.I.P. Doom.
So Brian, Diego, and I on the previous episode were having this conversation of if you could invite your top 5 role models to like a birthday party, who would they be?
Oh no, that wasn't it. The question was celebrities, not
So-
role models.
Celebrities. Yeah,
So we had
celebrities.
top 5
living
males
celebrities, by
and
the way.
females.
Living.
Yeah, we had living. We had top 5 male and female.
Sofia Vergara.
Oh wow, he's going female first. We went male first. Interesting.
Wow. Okay.
Sophia.
Sofia
You're getting
Vergara
those out of the way.
first.
Yeah.
May I ask why?
Oh, it's like my childhood crush. That's like my
okay,
number
okay.
one.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Not because she's multicultural and
No,
crosses
not at all.
borders.
You know who was my childhood?
No, although-
It's clearly like me with Tatiana Ali.
She's just
like,
gonna
I just want to
sit-
get in
yeah,
there.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know who
She's-
was my childhood crush along those lines?
Tatiana Ali.
No,
That's me.
no, Vida Guerra.
Who's that?
You remember
Oh, you
her?
don't know.
Oh,
Maxim
no.
Magazine, done.
Who's
Put it
that?
on.
Who's that?
Put it on. All right, but hold on. I'm not
Keep
done
going,
yet.
keep going. Oh, she looks bad now.
I was gonna say she
she's
looks like
alright.
an auntie.
Hold on. Like, let's say like 2002.
Well, I mean Tatiana Ali are starting to age now too.
The pick that started FHM, dog.
Wow. Now this
one.
is
This one?
No, down
now
here.
this is
This
like
one.
a TV
This one.
person or who is this?
She was
How do I not know this?
video vixen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
like the porn site.
Yeah.
Not porn though.
Vixen
porn.
is the porn site.
Right. But
Okay,
no,
we
I
all
mean
follow
like
the
a
same sites.
a music video vixen.
Yeah. Here it is.
Like a video. Look at her, dude. She's beautiful.
Yeah. That was mine. That was my jam. Go on. So Sophia.
This is. I feel like she has that style in these pictures that we're seeing. She has that Latina style that like Tego Calderón was singing in Oye Mi Canto.
Exactly. This is exactly who you're talking
this
about.
was-
She's
yeah,
Cuban, I
this
think.
was my chick though.
But do
Go-
you
go
remember
on, though.
Oye Mi Canto?
No, we're getting derailed.
Tego Calderón, Daddy Yankee.
Hold on. We're
Yeah,
we're in my story. I only gave you one so
Yeah.
far. All right,
Yeah, relax, Doom.
ease up.
Yeah.
All right, that's one. I'm probably gonna go with Viggo Mortensen.
Whoa, Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
We're talking about celebrities.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
Love that.
completely different from what we're breaking up. but
Wow,
yeah.
that's fucking cool.
I do like. Well, I'll go another. I'll do boy girl kind of thing.
Okay,
You know?
okay.
Okay. So then, the next girl is gonna have to be.
There's shame. There's shame here.
There's a little bit of shame.
There's shame here.
Why though?
No, I'll pivot. I won't do the
Nah.
shame. Shame? No, no.
Yeah.
shame.
For the boys. For the morning drinkers podcast.
Nah, I won't do no shame.
Off air.
Mas puto.
We'll do. See, now I'm kind of like.
So
You gotta say it now.
like I said, Action Bronson, fucking Mike Tyson.
Right.
Like, you know, people like I wanted a lyricist, a fighter, and
Right,
like
but-
a comedian.
yeah,
you
Right.
know?
Okay.
he can listen to that podcast if he wants to know that our
Yeah.
list.
So this is my third one for this. The second lady that I will use is probably gonna be Esperanza Spalding. So
Okay.
that's one that I gotta
Great
have. Like,
basis,
music
dude.
and
Okay.
composer and like
Yes.
just badass.
I know you know. I know you know.
Stop.
Fourth one, I'm gonna have to bring Game Bread,
Hey,
George
but-
Masvidal.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
is your doppelganger?
The Trumper himself,
yeah.
huh?
Hey, but
He would
Esperanza
set this shit on
Spalding-
fire, dude.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie though, those early fucking record covers of Esperanza Spalding,
good.
I used to froth my milkshakes to that, dude.
Okay.
Like,
All right.
that I don't know. It's because I love natural hair, dude.
Yeah,
And that
yeah.
fucking afro with that stand up bass, dude.
Oh yeah.
All
And then I think the last one's gonna have to be Cesar Milan, dude.
Oh.
The dog whisperer.
Wow, that's a good one.
That's a good
very
one. That's a good one.
Very good
That's
one.
a good one.
Those are my five.
But see, that's
Boy, girl. Yeah,
Oh, it should be
I'm talking
five-
about
it
five
should be
guys,
males.
five girls.
Oh, dude.
It would go for days.
Okay, I was trying to be like selective because I thought I
No,
only had
no, no.
Five guys, five girls.
so you have like 4 dudes right now, I think, or 3.
I got 3 dudes, two
girls.
2 girls. Let's see, another girl to throw in the mix.
Here's the shame.
Like, who do you want to cut the cake and
Here's
sing
the
happy
shame.
birthday to?
Or who do you want to pop out of the cake?
Oh
That's
man.
Diego said
Anna Cherie to
Anna
pop out of
Cherie.
it from the ceiling.
Uh,
Oh, yeah,
This-
he
there's
said
this-
she wants to come out of the cake.
there's an actress chick, Colombian actress chick, another Colombian girl.
You like Colombians? What is the name?
You like
Juana del Rio. She's like very slim, very petite. Just badass actress. You gotta watch this
That looks like
Frontera
Okay,
Verde.
she's
I
cute.
was gonna say.
You gotta watch Frontera Verde. She's like,
Have you ever seen Monarca?
yeah.
Okay. So she's number 3.
That's number 3 right there.
Okay.
All right.
Who's that Asian guy?
I don't know.
that,
This is-
that could be me.
Co-star. It's the
Should
co-star.
be me.
That could
That's
be me.
you. All right.
Graham Hancock has to be there, dude.
All right. Graham Hancock made it. Hell yeah.
Graham Hancock has to
Okay.
be there.
Hell yeah.
Grams Hancock.
Yeah.
I definitely want
Liam Neeson.
like either
Liam
either
Neeson.
Robert Rodriguez or what's his face
Quentin.
Quentin, one of those
Okay. Okay.
two.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson's.
Yeah, Liam Neeson's. All right. So you have 2 more females to go?
Vigo Mortensen.
You have, yeah. Viggo Mortensen.
That's
Like, I can't believe that.
I-
Came out so organically.
that was like the
Dog.
first one.
dog. Go watch Eastern Promises right now, dog. You're gonna-
Honestly, if it could be that we're dead,
So Matt
Charles
Damon.
Bronson, dude. I want Charles Bronson in my party.
Dude, you love Charles.
dude, Matt
It's
Damon's
because of my
badass.
grandpa, dude.
Dude,
My grandpa.
Keanu Reeves, bro.
Ooh, Keanu Reeves would be dope.
Yeah.
Keanu's Reeves.
Keanu
Keanu
Reeves.
No,
Is he- so he's one of them?
Is
Yeah.
there,
Okay,
like,
so he's 4. Who's the
He's
5th?
4. And for 5th one, I'll probably say Jacob Collier.
Oh, interesting.
Who's that?
What?
Who's that? Look,
The fucking
musician.
boy wonder.
You've seen him, yeah.
This dude.
oh.
This little virgin.
You know what I
That's a
should
little
do? You know
virgin.
what would make it
Like-
easier for me is I should just look at.
Was that Steel guy that played in fucking Gilbert's Open Jam?
Oh, Johnny Steele.
God, dude,
What a
like
great
that
name.
little fucking.
Brilliant name.
Oh my
What
god.
a great
The
name.
But
best.
when you first see him, you're like, this fucking virgin only plays drums, dude. He doesn't.
He's laying pipe, dude.
He's
Shout out to the Steel man.
I know.
himself.
Shout out to him, dude, because like
the Steel Meister.
Hey.
Yeah.
those Wednesday jams at Panama, they were pretty fun sometimes.
Yeah, I would.
All
I
jams
would
are
show
fun.
up pretty toasty on those.
All the
Yeah.
jams at one point in time were all
The
pretty
Sunday
fun.
funk jams as well, dude.
They were all right.
They're all right.
Yeah.
They're all right.
Now, what jam? Well, okay, now
What
was
jam
there?
do you miss the most?
No. I was about to ask: was there ever a jam that you were like, oh fuck, I gotta do this jam?
Oh, if like I'm hired to it, yeah.
Yeah, like, as in like that. You're like, because I'm assuming that like
Yeah,
for
I'm not gonna answer this question because
Okay.
I hurt people's feelings enough when it comes to music choices and
You don't have to say names.
I just said yeah.
or
That's why I just
venues.
said yeah.
You just
Yeah.
say yes or no.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
pretty much all of them except for one.
Because like, Because like for me,
And whoever's listening,
a
that
person-
one, that's you.
as a person,
Yeah,
that was,
exactly.
as a person that was romanticizing the idea of going out there and being seen, it was more like, fuck, okay, I have to do this jam, but I'm doing my due diligence to be known.
Right.
So, did you ever see it like I have to do it because I have to, or like I'm doing this as a favor at this?
Well, there is one
I
that
think both,
was a
probably.
community thing where you like had to go put in your time,
Mm-hmm.
and I still will forever, and that's the one that I like. But the other ones are all fun until people don't know how to pivot and they stay on the same road, and it's a straight road forever, and it
Same 11
sucks.
songs.
It sucks.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter if it's the same song.
Yeah. That's,
The vibe is what counts
okay,
the most.
Right.
It just plateaus.
yeah.
If you can't, dude, come on, man, you got to play the classics. I'm all about playing the classics, but you have to do it right.
Yeah.
And whenever the road is straight like that, it's like the road to fucking Vegas sucks. But when you get to Vegas, it's bomb, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then, like, if you just got that same road and you just never got to Vegas, that's how some of these jam sessions feel. And gigs.
Oh yeah, that's what this whole Corona thing. And I've probably hurt some people's feelings because I've said it in person to them or they've heard where I was like, honestly, this whole lockdown thing made me realize how many gigs I was doing that I did not enjoy.
Yeah, it's true.
I just like
So, do you see it as a blessing now? Or
I never-
is it
honestly, I
or
never
is it
thought-
frustration of like I should have just said no earlier.
no, not neither.
So there's no regret, basically.
No regret.
There's no regret. It just this whole lockdown. It's funny. Like I'm not super like, oh, this fucking sucks. Like, yeah, there's aspects where it for sure sucks. You know, the loneliness factor, that kind of thing. The fact that
I can't go out to get a beer.
we can't just do little basic things without either getting hassled or something. You know, but dude, I fucking learned a lot this year. I've had a lot of
Yeah.
time on my hands, and if
Yeah, it's day 10, dude.
yeah. Yeah, sick. Yeah. If like, I mean, yeah, the 2020 is what I mean, not this past year.
right.
But like, what I mean is just like I read a lot. I taught myself this shit. Like, I don't know, man.
It's a blessing, right?
Yeah.
Blessing
If you
in
took advantage, if you
disguise.
took advantage of that time, it's a fucking.
There's a lot of people that still are mourning the what ifs.
Well, those are the people that probably aren't.
are storming.
Those are the
Capitol.
people that aren't adapting, because one thing that is always common with human beings, life in general, is that you got to adapt.
You
If
have
you
to.
can't adapt, then you're gonna fucking die. You're gonna storm the Capitol.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just like, again, like I want to tie everything into the artistry of it, because if anything, that's one thing that ties us as a group, as a friend collective, is that we come from different walks of life, we have different experiences, but the one thing that we share mutually is that we're performers.
Yeah.
And having the different perspective of the same craft in a way, even though it's different, kind of helps us grow or see things through a different light. Because I look at you guys as veterans, because I'm a newbie, dude. Like I regret that I didn't do this earlier.
But you're doing
shouldn't
something
regret
that we don't do.
Yeah.
So you're kind of
But
you're
there's-
bushwhacking right now.
But
You're
there's
like,
still
yeah.
overlap.
The
where
performance
there's still-
aspects overlap, but see, the thing is, you've been performing too, though. Like I said,
But I
you're
can't perform. I can't perform that stuff that you're performing.
I guess, yeah.
I can't.
But like, so check this out. The last time we got together when you weren't present, Brian, I, and the group got into a deep conversation of performance anxiety, which is something that, though we're performing different crafts,
Never had
is
it.
something we share. Brian and I have performance anxiety where we'll do different things to either put us in the zone, psych us out, or make us realize that we have to do this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
But that extends. My performance anxiety extends to like all facets of life. I have like
Anxiety.
severe anxiety for like.
see, now mine's selective anxiety, because one of the topics we touched on was sex. When it comes to performing in bed, I don't have anxiety at all. But when it comes to going on stage, my heart pumps through my chest,
Yeah, but
I'm
we're
like-
but we're
shaking my drink.
that's like kind of you're blurring the or not blurring, but you're mixing the act of performance in so many different ways that performance is like different for each one of those arts, just like it is for judo. You're performing because you're not really fighting, although you're fighting in a controlled.
Yeah, I feel more confident playing judo than I do BJJ.
Right.
That's
So
fine.
and that's it's cool to see them all as like performances. I mean, just the act of talking, being friends with somebody is kind of a performance if you want to think of it that way. But very different. If one thing gives you anxiety and another doesn't, it's not because only this thing gives you anxiety. It's because your anxiety is stemming from somewhere else. It's not just the fact that you have to perform that's giving you anxiety. It's all the maybe lack of preparation or the doubts or maybe the how can I say it, like misunderstanding of what you're actually doing in that moment. Like if you thought you were gonna fight and you went into a judo competition and you went there like you were gonna fight, then you're gonna fight like a dude that's like you're gonna be clawing and fucking biting at motherfuckers. But if you went in there as a performer that maybe said, okay, I've trained, these are the moves that I know that I'm best at. It's like me if I was like gonna roll and I was like, I know one submission pretty well and I haven't even been able to execute it. But that's the only one that I'm gonna go for because that's the only one I know. I'm gonna stick to my classics. Now, if I showed up to a performance and they go, play, I'm not gonna Nacho Libre and try and fake a song.
Yeah.
I'm going to play something that I know. And so that's why I don't get anxiety because I know that there's a tool, a bag that I already have. So maybe it's preparation that gives me that sort of confidence, or maybe it's just a confidence in knowing that I have something.
So for me and my anxiety on the stage stems from imposter syndrome. Have you ever felt imposter syndrome?
Of course, but that's something that I embrace. Just being able to be that.
So you, from what I know, you worked your way to get to where you are now. Yeah. For me, and we've had this conversation before, I kind of just landed on it.
That's how it happens, though.
Yeah.
Like I went from
right place, right time.
No, but you worked.
Exactly.
But that's bullshit because you did work too.
I put in the work, like I said, going to 3 places like every night. But
no, but the work's done before that. You've been writing for how long?
Right.
Years.
And even then, your mentality, you're just expressing what's going on in your head.
But I never performed it
Doesn't
before.
matter.
And then
That's
when
the work,
I did,
though.
it just kind of all fell
It's no different.
once,
It's no different than if we rehearsed a song that we've never performed live. We put in the work that we've rehearsed it.
Right.
We learned the song. It's the same thing.
And even then, sometimes like being on stage and just being able to draw something out of thin air, but you know it because you listened to it, you analyzed it so much. We could play these pop radio songs because we've heard them so many fucking times. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like there's work going on, whether it's subconscious or not, that recall, that ability to say, I know that song. What is it? Something like this. All right, we can fake our way, make our way through it, make it recognizable. Well, it's kind of the same thing like me lately with the leather thing, and I'm trying to get into actually doing designs on it, not just, cuts.
Yeah.
I'm not going off of stencils. I'm going off of this. And so I'm going, I can freehand this because I'm trying to develop two things at once. The actual craft itself when it comes to all the techniques, but I'm also trying to develop my artistry and my creativity in that sense. I could just as easily go and get my tablet out and start tracing on, wax paper and put it on there and stencil it and then work on my technique. That wouldn't be fulfilling to me. I'm like a multitasker, and so that's how I like it to express myself. Whenever I go on stage with somebody and I've never played any music with them, I'm actively playing and listening.
You're feeling them out.
There's multiple things.
You're reading them like how we do in fighting.
Yeah, there's multiple things going on. And so that's helped me a lot as a sideman. And because guys are like, oh, dude, I could just play anything. You can follow along. And that's
where we're different because it's just me on stage.
Yeah.
And you guys have the ability or the chance to follow someone if you don't know.
Right. But you have the crowd.
Yeah.
The crowd is the other side of you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's like when someone, like we've had this conversation, when someone goes on there before me and they fucking kill and they murder.
And then you have to follow it.
Then it's my turn to follow. It's like.
Are you pumped or are you nervous?
He's nervous.
I'm nervous, dude.
Are you pumped sometimes?
Sometimes, because it's like, okay, when I'm confident, like again, when it was that time when I performed at the other place, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do the
You
same
went to the
piece.
next one.
I went in there hot, dude,
That's good.
and then it fucking tumbled down. That's when I was like,
It didn't.
oh.
But see, it didn't tumble. You can't please everyone.
Yeah, you can't please everyone. And if you nailed it and your cadences were right and you liked the way it came out,
Did you record it?
These guys
No.
that put on
this was before so when my first ever time on stage, you guys went, and then there was a long period of time where I was just going by myself, not
Right.
telling anyone, like
yeah.
just to put in the work.
just shedding. Yeah,
That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was like telling my friends, like, hey, can you film me so
No,
I know
but-
what to correct?
Right.
But I mean, just record audio. Put your phone down like on a stool.
Oh, I never did that.
Because then
Yeah, it's like
Then you
watching
could-
tape.
then you could
Sports.
analyze. You could also analyze, like he said, was the cadence the same as the previous? Because if it's the exact same, your delivery was the exact same. It just wasn't the crowd for you.
Oh yeah,
It doesn't mean you
that's
fucked up.
pro tip number 1 that we should have talked about.
Yeah.
Because
See,
that's when you do sports. When you do
Now-
judo, you
yeah.
you review your tape.
yeah. So I never saw any of the other veteran poets do it. So
I'm sure they have.
Yeah.
I never asked.
Who cares?
I
Fucking,
never asked.
then be the first. If nobody else is doing
So-
it, they're late
Yeah,
to the game.
true, exactly.
So for me, I fell into the realm of like, how am I gonna fit in? And it was a very dark period of me because of me involved in that world, because I was more focused on writing pieces like we talked about earlier that I knew was gonna not even please the crowd, but please my poet friends. Kind of like I was writing shit to see
You're
if it
trying to
would-
please the peers.
Exactly. Like to see,
But once-
because there was a lot of people that were newbies going up there that were, pleasing the crowd. But for me, it was like, if I can make the veterans laugh, or if I can make them, like have a different feeling, then it was like, okay, then I'm doing something right.
Yeah, it seems like you're fighting the front on like multiple,
Yeah.
fronts.
It's
you know,
like, I was never doing it for me. It was more.
I would
recognition.
suggest you should try just doing it for you now.
yeah, dude.
And
Because
Get
if
punk
I were
rock.
to
Get punk rock with it.
yeah,
like,
if I were
fuck
to
everything else.
create something and then bring it to Omar and be like, hey man, like what do you think of this? And then he may just say it's cool, but if I were to say like, no, but like, what would you do differently? Because I'm seeking his approval. Yeah, he's probably gonna have some critiques. But if I'm having to come back to him every time, it's no longer my project.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
It's his.
So for a period, I was like sharing my works with other peers and trying to see how like the least amount of critiques and like errors that they could point out.
No,
And
it's not about that.
and it became a competition of like, because I had this imposter syndrome of like, then I felt like I had to prove myself. Then it's like, I want to prove to you that I can do your job better than you. And that's when I started getting way too fucking cocky. And
Yeah, now it's becoming a competition. And,
yeah, dude.
and-
Like I lost the love for it, and I just started doing it because I looked at it almost like a job.
like competition,
Yeah.
like judo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Whereas if you were, say, like on tour with somebody
Mm-hmm.
and you did the same jokes every night, and you heard each other do the same jokes every night, some nights that you bombed, some nights you killed,
Mm-hmm.
you would realize real quick who the master is and who the student is.
yeah.
And that's happened to me for years and years and years. There's nights, very rarely, where I come out as the master. And on those nights, my master is the first one to come to me like, damn, kid, you're fucking
You're killing it. Yeah.
Killing them today.
Mm-hmm.
We get off stage and everybody's like, oh.
Yeah.
And on the other nights, you're just like,
Damn.
damn. Happens to me, dude. It still does all the time. I just did the tour in Florida. I bombed every night because there's a segment that's me.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you right now, I bombed every night. I was out of practice. Didn't have anything new to say or anything relevant to say. Why? Because I haven't been doing that.
Yeah.
And so, I sit back and I watch the master do it, and he's just like on fire.
Yeah, just licking it.
And I just got to be like, yo,
Pay your
you're
respect.
killing them.
Yeah.
You're killing them. It's happened to me for a long time. I learned that I'm not in competition with him, that we're just doing our parts. And some nights when we're both on fire, and nobody can stand in your way.
So are you in competition with yourself?
I'm in competition
Always.
with myself.
Always.
Only myself.
Always.
And that's where I have the tendency to not. I don't have the skill to distinguish that.
But you have that potential inside of you. You know it because that's where your confidence actually comes from.
Yeah.
I just know to fight. That's it.
That's where your fight comes from.
Yeah, like I just know to fight. Like if like.
But see, even
I feel like I corner myself to where I have to breach out.
so
Like, instead of like already coming out striking,
so there's a common
which is the theme of the poem I posted.
well, there's a common theme in at least jujitsu, at least the martial art that I'm in that we've been trained is that like even if you're competing and rolling with someone or whatever, that's not your competition. It's still you. Like even if they tap you, you should thank them because they just pointed out the hole in your game.
Right.
And so you should now review the tape and then you're going to be better tomorrow, not to face them, but to know like, oh, there was a hole there. I didn't recognize it.
Patch it.
I patch it and now I'm better.
Okay, yeah. See, now I'm glad that I can ask you guys this and get like a solid response with substance to it. Because if I were to ask my other colleagues, again, the world that I'm involved in is so fucking stuck up and pretentious that it's like everyone has the common answer of saying like, I got out of it, you can too. You know? Like,
I mean,
like,
that's just the simple. That's just. But
like-
the thing is, you're closer with us too. You're not like you just
that's
review. You just refer to them as colleagues, and so they're not even your friends. They're not even
because
Right.
you can't have friends there.
you can.
And
See, the thing is,
I
you're
know
also
what you're saying. There's an in crowd, and you don't even want to be part of
and
that.
that's
in
I
such,
crowd.
don't.
But see,
dude.
that's also such a small in crowd. This is only San Diego you're talking about.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So like, this may not even be the right city for your shit. You know?
It's true. Or maybe
I
it
never
is
thought
the
about it.
maybe it's the cool place to be the trailblazer, you know?
Yeah.
Because you have like kind of a lukewarm scene that you can kind of get in. Everyone used to freaking guys used to go, "Hey man, how's the scene in San Diego?" And I'd be like, "Lame, bro. It's slow."
It's true.
And then they would ask somebody else and they'd be like, "Oh man, the water's warm. Come on in." And it's like, good luck, bro.
Yeah.
I've been here for 15 years and the water's not warm for me.
Yeah.
You know? So that person who's saying that must have some little concept of success that they're already tapped into. And I'm looking at it like, this shit has so much room to grow.
Yeah.
And so for you, the water's not going to be warm because you don't have your own scene to make you feel like the water's warm. So and that's how I feel about the San Diego music scene too. Because what I want to play is not really like,
What people want to hear.
I end up in projects that I like to play the stuff, but they never end up doing it for me. You know what I'm saying? They don't get me off. Like, you know, it's like,
Yeah. Okay.
and so,
yeah. That's
and so then I want to be a little bit of a trailblazer in the sense that when I present my personal art, I want people to be like, oh, cool. I know that stuff. I know what you're playing. I just never expected to hear it here. I never expected you to play that. I never expected that to come from you. And so little by little, I'm kind of like, it's like I'm chipping away at the stone and I'm like, little by little, I'm going to shape it the way I want it to be so I can form my attack. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And have you ever had a response where people are like, play the shit we like? Like,
yeah.
All the time.
like,
Like people being like, hey, play that one song.
All the time. Just the past gig.
You kidding me? Every show.
Yeah.
It's people, imagine people.
it's like you're playing something that's like killing, and you, as again in the art, know that it's killing, and they're like, "Fuck Freebird!"
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Every
Imagine
time.
you're an impressionist and they're going, hey, do Freebird. Hey, do Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Hey, do whatever.
Hey, you're a DJ now at that. In their eyes, you're just a DJ.
Yeah, bro.
I actually have a video on my blog where I have it record like people having that reaction to me, dude. And like up to today, when I was writing in my journal, I had that moment. I was like, I should go back and listen to my old shit to hype me up again,
Right.
to remind myself that I am cool.
Right.
And
Just listen to it anyway. Fuck it.
and I was going back and I fell into that video where like people were like, no, do the other shit. And I just kind of like, again, it just hit the ego. And
Fuck them.
I've been saying for 3 years that I was going to release a record.
That is true.
I do remember this. But
I know what you're saying.
It's like, again, you guys have been in this world way longer than I have. That when I first heard that,
Him
and
even longer than me.
it still hurts me as like, like, fuck, dude. Like, sometimes I want to do me, but
I say
feel like
you
people
do
don't wanna
you
hear
all
that.
the time. Who cares?
that's
Yeah.
what like.
You know why? You know why it doesn't bother me? Because when I first started doing this, like music for me, is this. My dad would go, "Hey, play
Play that
La
one.
Marcha de Zacatecas," and then I would play it,
Yeah.
and he'd be like, for like
Yeah.
15 seconds,
Yeah.
like,
Calling his homies.
You know, and then I was like, I'll play it shit on the saxophone and be like, hell yeah, 15 seconds, then he'd go do something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm still like 10 bars into the song. Like,
Yeah.
but then I would be practicing something else, and he'd come up to me and be like, hey, your tío's here. Toca la marcha de Zacatecas. And I would go at it. And I always did it. And I did it because I wanted to please my pops, because he thought it was cool. Or at least I thought he thought it
Yeah.
was cool. Whatever the fuck. But anyways, I would do it. So now, when somebody goes, play La Marcha de Zacatecas, like, all right, I could do it. When somebody goes, play Freebird, yeah, I could do it. What else you got? What else you want me to play?
Yeah, but
Play this.
I'm talking about like being in the zone and saying like wanting to do something else.
I do.
See, I've always had an attitude.
See, I'm too nice. I try to please everyone, man.
I'm nice too, but I mean, if you're going to sacrifice my happiness in order
the
to
whole
please
point
you,
of putting a performance
Ah.
is to put a performance that you know they're gonna like. I don't know.
no,
It's like we have a
nah,
different view on it.
nah. My view is you got to show them something they don't even know they like.
Like I haven't
Oh,
gotten to
I-
the point of like you hired me, I'm gonna do what you like. What the like you know?
Sorry. So this is what maybe was you misunderstood from what I was saying. It doesn't bother me that people ask me to do stuff, because I've had that since the beginning.
Mhm.
Whether I choose to do it or not, just depends on what mood I'm in.
that too.
You know what I'm saying?
Maybe they suggest a song that I'm like, that's actually a dope song. I'm down to do that.
Yeah, exactly. You're
But
like,
if they're
"Ooh, okay."
suggesting fucking, obviously, like we're gonna use Freebird again. If they're suggesting Freebird, it's like, no, I'm not gonna do that
right,
shit.
but maybe I'm in the mood to fucking
Yeah.
do it. And I'm like, hey, let's play Freebird right now. And cats are like, do I know? I'm like, we'll figure it out. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Somebody called for it.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not Leonard Skinner, but I'm gonna fucking do the track.
Also, sometimes money does talk, because there's been plenty of times there's a
Tip
tip
comes
jar.
down.
The tip comes down, and you're like, that's a good tip.
That's
we're gonna play
right.
this song.
Key of E flat.
Yeah, we're
Take the
gonna play
bass line
this
for a walk.
song,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
happens.
There's no tips at my gig.
There will be.
There will be.
And you should start that trend.
Yeah.
You should be like, all
There's
right,
no
everybody,
shame in that. Be like,
show
hey,
up with the T-shirt that has your Venmo account on it, and be like,
Yeah.
hey, if you guys, first and foremost, if you like what I'm saying, here's my Venmo account. If you don't like what I'm saying, here's my Venmo account. You know, like,
Yeah.
get those tips going.
Like,
If you make
He doesn't
$2
like
in
that. He
tips-
doesn't like that. I can see it in his eyes. He's like, I don't
I
really
don't,
like
I don't
that.
trust Venmo, but that's different.
Oh, yeah, he
But,
doesn't have
So
Venmo.
check this out.
Tip
Like,
jar,
I
old
know,
school.
I know. Like, there is a cat that used to do this shit. He moved. Yeah, that's the proper pronoun for him. He moved, and
Oh, it's one of those people.
yeah,
Gotcha.
and he actually introduced the concept of mail poems, where it's like a subscription base. Like, you pay me this amount a month, and every week I'm gonna send you a personal piece through the mail.
That's kind of nice. That's kind of nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a lot of work after a while.
it's a lot of work after a while. But now it's like,
But if that's your work, then that's cool. You're like, hey, I got 10 poems I got to write this week. Fuck it, I'm quitting my job.
yeah, but like keeping up with like the user, like to keep them want to keep subscribing.
Yeah, because
Dude,
if
but that's the hole you dug yourself. Fuck it. If that's what you really want to do. do it.
you're providing a service, so
Yeah.
you better have your service well thought out. Hey, dude,
So
I'm writing you haikus every. You're gonna read my haiku, and you're gonna be like, oh fuck yeah, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
But only if what I wrote to you is something that I believe in. You know what I'm saying?
Because at one point it just becomes
Otherwise,
like
you're a fortune
drawing
cookie.
shit out just to draw shit out.
Yeah, you're a fortune cookie writer at that point. If
Yeah.
yeah. But
Which
then,
is
but
still
then,
lucrative too.
yeah, it's lucrative. However, if you're doing it for money, then yeah, keep doing it. But if you're doing it for the art, then you also need the ability to recognize, hey, I'm just writing to write. This is dog shit.
Can I also? I actually regret not bringing this up earlier because I was a little drunk.
Do it and let's wrap it up soon because
Yeah.
we're already in.
All right.
During this pandemic, at the beginning of the pandemic, plenty people hit me up to collab in projects that never came through.
Welcome to the club. That has happened how many?
Millions of them.
Yeah. I mean, dude, yeah. Welcome to the club.
I got bombarded. There was only one that came through, and it's that book that's published right there.
Right.
But
Cool. But you're in a book.
I'm in a book, yeah. But still, like, I got people that approached me saying, like, hey, we want to turn one of your pieces into a play. Like,
Dude, if there's one thing I know, and we know a lot of people like this,
talk a lot of shit.
people like to talk.
Yeah.
Artists are flaky.
Dude.
Or
have
they
never
bit
been
off more than they
exper-
can
So what I'm trying to say is, like, I haven't experienced that side of the artist world before. And during pandemic, when everyone has all the time in the world, for them to not follow through with it just made me more insecure of, like, maybe they just chose someone else.
Maybe they just didn't go through with it.
And more often than not, they probably just didn't go through with it.
I mean,
Knowing how people are.
let me tell you something that my good friend Al told me once, and he's one of these guys that always makes up these metaphors. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't.
Whiskey wisdom?
Yeah, dude.
Nice.
He goes, "Oh, it's California, man. Everybody has dandruff." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, everybody's flaky, man."
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, yeah.
It's true. You know, I mean, I've only lived here. I mean,
This is a
From
guy
what I
that's
can
lived
remember.
like
yeah.
internationally, you know.
Because, like,
Californians
moving
are
from,
lazy.
like, in
Myself
Hawaii,
included.
it's such a small island where
They're even lazier.
But you're bound to run into someone at least twice.
Right.
So
Yeah, you'll get called out.
They'll get called out, and it's like, okay, now I have to fucking do it.
Nah, because sometimes
Some
dude,
people won't do it anyways.
Yeah,
right?
some people won't do it.
There is that pocket.
You know how
of
many
people
times
that
I've
won't.
called people out? They still don't do it.
Yeah.
They say I'm an asshole. I'm like, because I pointed out what you said you were going to do and you didn't do it. Yeah. How am I an asshole? You're the asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, for me, this is all new. I'm dipping my toes.
Get back into
I
it.
have
dude.
Keep doing it.
questions, but
I might have an answer. I might not.
yeah, it's just
You have to let.
I'm afraid to let things happen. I
That-
want to know beforehand. That's my thing.
That's that like you choose the high road thing. Sometimes you just gotta let it out. Let the cat out of the bag. Like fuck it.
Yeah, but like,
Say what needs to be said.
Once I'm on that road, I want to make sure that I don't hydroplane, because when I do hydroplane, I don't know how to readjust myself onto
Just
the
brace for
Whatever.
impact.
Just
homie.
brace for impact. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
like
Dude, you're gonna crash and burn.
Yeah,
and
everybody
then,
crashes.
Yeah.
yeah, but like so this entire podcast, and we've been talking about my experiences versus yours.
It's not the entire
has
podcast.
has
There's a lot of material on
Look
this.
at the end of it. The end of the podcast has been mostly for me to kind of convince myself that the hardships that I have passed through aren't that bad.
No, they're just
there's,
common.
There's worse to come.
Yeah.
I can tell you that.
And that's what I'm afraid of.
Fuck it. Who cares?
Because it's
it's inevitable though.
Yeah.
Because it's what really makes you kind of ask yourself, are you made for this? Like,
And
do you want to keep going?
And
like,
that is what separates the wheat from the chaff. Why would you want to be? No, just kidding. Yeah, but yeah, that's literally what it does. Yeah, it either makes or breaks you, and it really shows you. You have to have that conversation with yourself in the mirror. It's like, is this what I really want to do?
Mhm.
And if you choose,
Think about what Bobby Lee sees in the mirror when he wakes up every morning.
yeah,
Great success.
Shame and then success.
yeah,
Yeah, shame from success from shame.
dude, it's all of the above. It's just, dude, we all see it. But anyway, I think on that note, we've done
We
like
did very well.
we've done over 3 hours,
Oh shit,
Shit.
6 p.m. already.
dude. I'm telling you,
Gotta
this
go
stuff.
home.
Holy
Legit
fuck.
conversations.
We had fun. We had fun.
Conversations is what it's all about.
I
This-
want to thank our buddy Omar for coming in and joining
Yeah.
us,
you.
filling in for Diego
Diego.
since he has a job.
I can't wait to booze it up on one of these.
Dude, I know.
Eventually,
We're trying to do it as a weekly thing. I mean, you know what? I'm sticking to that.
Sundays. It's a
It's a
Sunday
Sunday
podcast.
thing. It's a Sunday morning drinkers
Sunday
podcast.
morning drinkers.
Yeah, I hope Diego isn't working next weekend, so we get him back in here.
and even if he is, we'll do it you and I, or
Yeah.
finding another
Yeah.
person to maybe we can have Econom
That's if he, yeah,
if he has time.
yeah. Well, he's he's busy doing things, but yeah,
But I would love to see some YouTube videos with Econom and
Dude.
laugh it up.
we're gonna get silly with it, especially as soon as I start drinking in this.
Oh,
my
yeah.
god,
Next
dude.
month.
So when February what?
February 10th is my birthday, so anytime after that,
33?
33.
33.
Yeah, I'm getting old, getting up there. I got the grays coming in on the side.
I can do. I'll wait. I'll wait till the 10th with you.
You know what's funny? Law has been saying that she's been noticing blonde hairs, not white, in me,
That happens.
or
too.
like red.
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 I got red all in my beard.
Yeah, and my nutsack. Yeah, man.
Okay. By the way, we're still rolling.
Let's cut it.
All right. We'll see you next. See you next time. We're gonna cut. We're gonna talk about his balls on off air. Peace.